Hi guys! We got ponies today while we watch the print. We met... Yeah. Also, I love your new stream setup, like your overlay setup and stuff. It looks so cute. Mm-hmm. It did. It honestly did. It's like part of me wants to redo my overlays, but I can't be bothered because I'm lazy. Oh, I guess someone said muted.
Here, let me, I do need to fix this so I can occasionally check my, my YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
But I hope everyone had a good night, good day, good evening. We're gonna learn about free rin tonight from, this is an old video, but it was very famous, anime video. Some of you may have heard of it before. It's called The Moral Dilemma That Broke Free Rin. And my understanding is, A, you're probably going to want a lot of alcohol, and B, that we are going to listen to some demon apology today. Apology.
It's like, I don't know what's more cringe, this shit or the fact that Chainsaw Man probably has one of the most puritanical fan bases that I've ever seen. Like, oh my god. It's like, apparently, the Chainsaw Man fandom, at least in the West, found out that the author really likes BDSM porn, and they were freaking out about it.
Oh, I remember that.
Like, if you're freaking out about this, then, like, God forbid if you ever learn what your parents like.
Oh, 100%. No, we have to listen to this all the time when people bring it up, particularly about the lolly stuff, where people are like, well, why don't you tell your parents that you're into it? Like, why don't you tell your parents what normal porn you're into? Just, you know, randomly say, hey, Mom, I'm really into big black chicks. I love watching them get railed on, like, public park benches. You really think your mom is going to be like, oh, thanks, honey. I really love knowing that information about you. I'm very excited.
You can always just scare people and just say, hey, you know that your kinks are inherited through your parents, right?
God. I have heard that before, though, that a lot of people, their parents are into the same shit.
Just scare them with that. It's still technically a theory and not proven, because who wants to sit in a room listing off their fetishes? Then it's like, oh, well, congratulations. You share about half of your mom's fetishes and half of your dad's. I'd want to throw up.
Yeah, I don't want to think about that. We can leave that thought to Lumi. Guys into Wincest? Wait, what? That is a dark thought. But Lum, do you get the watch together up?
I do.
All right, chat. Let's learn about free.
In Beyond Journey's End. This is a fantasy adventure show about a really old elf girl that started airing last year to massive amounts of fanfare, and immediately became one of the most highly regarded anime of recent memory. And having watched it while it was airing, it kinda got stuck in my brain, for almost definitely the wrong reasons. You see, on the surface, it's this very simple adventure story with a chill atmosphere that contemplates life and the importance of cherishing your time with other people. It has a very good first 3 episodes, which establish this deep emotional core to the show. It has some...
Chat's already freaking out.
Well, at least he's like, oh yeah, the first, like, he follows the first 3 episode rule, at least.
Mm-hmm. This guy was really funny because I watched a couple of videos that were alright, and then this one, I haven't seen a video from him since. I saw in the, if you open up the little more videos thing here, there's this one called A Deep Dive into Anime Waifus. And the last chapter on that is called The L Word. So we may have to watch that one later too.
Yeah, we just need to find every video that has bad lolly takes and just watch them back to back while we just take shots every time we feel like we want to die. Or end stream.
I have not watched his Anime Waifus video. All I can tell you is that the primary picture for that section is Rebecca from Cyberpunk Edgerunners.
Beautiful.
Very simple and strong themes that nearly everything feeds into, and our main characters and their journey feels like it's heading towards a satisfying, if bittersweet, conclusion. And yet, on the other hand, I couldn't help but feel like it's basically just a shonen action battle story with a fantasy twist. Our hero is the most powerful person in the world, who spends a significant portion of the show fighting bad guys and proving how badass and cool she is, instead of going on that chill Iyashikei adventure. With the first season even...
What the fuck did he just say?
Did he say Iyashikei?
Did he just pronounce isekai as Iyashikei? Or is that an actual other word that I just don't know? Is this guy actually more based about anime knowledge than me?
Rewind it like 10 seconds, put on closed caption.
Here we go. Iyashikei is a subgenre of slice of life portraying characters living out peaceful lives in calming environments. Why did you think that's what this was?
It's like Freeman loves collecting useless spells because she wants all spells, sure. But it wasn't going to be that. This isn't like... Oh, fuck. What was that one isekai where it's just some farmer that just
Why did he
wants
think
to
this was going to be a chill slice of life anime?
I don't know. Even with him following the 3 episode rule, he really didn't pay attention, did he?
That's what I'm confused by. I don't know how you watch the first 3 episodes of Freerun and you're like, oh, this is going to be a chill slice of life, just about a girl with, you know, her hobbies, just going through life. It's kind of clear what it was.
Yeah. And it's like, it's not just Freerun just showing off how powerful she is. She's also, you know, mentoring her pupil and everything like that as well.
I'll be honest, up until now, I've never heard somebody refer to slice of life as Iyashikei.
Iyashikei.
spending what feels like half its runtime on her just going through an elaborate Naruto-esque exam arc. To make it clear, I have problems with the show. I had them while it was airing, but I couldn't quite figure out where they were coming from, because I didn't want to dislike it. After all, it's highly praised and universally beloved and the #1 anime on my anime list by such.
I love it when people they just like a show, right? But they have to come. For some reason, they have like a moral problem with it that they've made up in their head. And they have to be like, I don't like it. I have to not like it. And he's like, I didn't want to dislike it. Then don't. Just like it. We all know you like the show. It was a good show.
It's like, you don't have to break down every single anime and just be like, okay, well, these are the very specific niche reasons why I don't like it. And here's a 1-hour video explaining why. It's like, no, shut up. You don't have to do this.
They don't. Yashike is referred to as its own separate thing. I mean, that's fair. I'll be honest. I've literally never heard anybody say it before. Ever.
Such an absurd amount that it might stay there forever. Its premise and story is right up my alley. I don't even dislike Naruto's exam arc, and I love powerful One Punch Man type characters and fantasy action.
I do have to clarify, why would you not like Naruto's one exam arc? The exam arc is one of the best aspects of the show. Because So, I don't know how many people know this, but a lot of people have the opinion that Naruto would be better as an anthology series about different, like, ninja tribes within their world and how they go about their lives. Because everybody in that show is infinitely more interesting than Naruto. So just imagine, like, an anthology series following the lives of different ninja and their families. And the exam arc is a really good example of that. Because it shows, like, what these kids are actually doing in this world. Like, their exams actually are death games participated in by numerous villages. And there are adults in them. Because you don't, like, just become a chunin eventually. You do have to constantly retake the test. The tuning exams are peak? Yes. I've never heard anyone say they did not like the tuning exams from Naruto. I don't know what he's talking about. He's like,
honestly,
I like the tuning exams.
Most people drop Naruto after the tuning exams.
Yeah.
So when I was watching it and it wasn't working for me, I feel like maybe I just wasn't getting it. Maybe there's something I was missing. So I left it alone and I stopped thinking about it. Up until about 9 months later, when I made a tweet about how the demons in the show are kind of weird, and people sent me death threats. So now I get to use the power of my YouTube channel to prove my point.
Stop with the death threats thing. Stop with the death threats thing. I hate it. Oh, people sent me death threats. Shut the fuck up. No, they didn't. They called you gay and homosexual. The dilemma of evil.
So, first of all, spoilers for basically the entire story. I'm going to talk about just the show for the first part before getting in.
This is completely irrelevant, and I'm just asking this for chat so somebody in chat can tell me. What is his background? I feel like I know what that is, but I also just, it's lost on me. So if somebody in chat wants to tell me, because I know one of you fuckers know what that is.
Huh, that looks familiar. Team Fortress 2.
Team TF2 is what I was thinking.
Robots. Yeah.
Man versus machine. Chat, there's like some giant, like, crawler thing back there with antennas all over it. It's not fucking Skyrim.
I mean, clearly you haven't seen enough modded Skyrim.
I've seen a lot of modded Skyrim, but typically my people are just wearing much less clothes.
You know what? Fair and valid.
To talk about the manga, it is important to the video, so if you haven't read it, you're probably not going to want to watch to the end. If you're unfamiliar, the main plot of Frieren is that our main protagonist, Frieren, is a several thousand-year-old elf who is part of the legendary heroes party that killed the Demon King, who once threatened the entire world. This is something that most fantasy adventure stories of this type build towards over the whole show, and here they do it off-screen right at the beginning. And the actual plot is then about Frieren watching the heroes party die of old age because she's an immortal elf, and then at the behest of her last remaining party member, she takes up a new apprentice and forms a new party to head back to the Demon King's lair, in search for the entrance to the afterlife. Frieren and her new party, Fern and Stark, go on this long adventure that retraces the heroes' party's steps, stopping at all the towns and villages they originally stopped at, so we can see how things changed over time, or rather, how Frieren didn't. And through this journey beyond Journey's End, we get to see her and her new companions develop and grow, as this.
Also, chat, I know she's not immortal. I don't think it's like a huge nitpick. Or I do think it's a little bit of a nitpick up on that. Because she is, comparatively to humans, she's basically immortal.
Mm-hmm.
Also, there's Kendra. Kendra, you never replied to my Discord message.
Kendra clearly hates us.
I know.
Ugh.
I invited her and she just ignored me.
Hey Kendra, you gotta join the pony club.
Yeah, we need to put Kendra in a pony model.
Yes.
What's wild is that they're elves so old they view Frieren as a child. Fair.
Yep.
Gonna nitpick the priest wasn't the last survivor, the dwarf was. I will allow that nitpick. Because it is weird to be like, her last remaining party member asked her to do this. Well, it wasn't her last one. I was making dinner. I'll be there later.
I'm sure we'll be live for another 3 hours.
You mind if I add her to this call?
Yeah, that's fine.
And then she can be here when she's here. Every
He
freeze frame
left me alone in call. He clearly hates me. Ugh.
Yeah, chat. This is why we have VTuber models. Because then freeze faces don't make us look ugly. Hi, Kendra.
Hello.
I'm like funny.
Don't worry, you can
like
you
we'll
can
talk
come
you
back
through a
on your
wind tunnel.
computer.
Yes.
Okay.
Dinner. Enjoy dinner.
We'll be here for a while. Don't worry.
We will shove you in a pony body yet.
That's what she said. Let me see. Let me set up a little Kendra Fuji tag. So when she do get back, people could see.
You know, I got those trolley popsicles again because they're delicious and I had a sudden craving for them again. I want to go eat another one. This would be my 4th one.
Let me stop. No more snacks.
But they're so good.
No more snacks.
But they taste like gummy worm.
No more snacks. It's bad for you.
They even wiggle like gummy worm.
Visionless elf girl starts to value the people around her. But like I said, the actual real plot, the bulk of what we spend our time doing, is seeing Frieren and her party
I tripped on the stairs.
Welcome back.
I was making dinner and then you called and then I was like, I need to hurry because I don't want to miss it.
You don't have to hurry. You're okay. Don't trip and die. Just fucking imagine. Kendra's just going upstairs with her food all happy and shit. Trips, falls, somehow gets stabbed by a fork and it's like, oh shit. She's dying live on stream.
Don't worry, I got spoons. It's fine.
Okay. A spoon could still kill you, but still.
Clumsy Kendra, exactly.
Clumsy Kendra.
The KKK station.
Yes. Oh, is somebody making a triple K joke? Listen, I've thought about it. My community thought about it. This is nothing new. There is nothing new under the sun. I was just wondering when my own community was gonna think about that joke.
They will one day.
Oh, it's already been done. All right. Oh my gosh.
Is my YouTube not letting me do a thing?
All right. So, are you watching it in Discord?
I have a
We are
watch together.
Okay.
So let me
see.
Oh, while you set Kendra up, I'm grabbing another popsicle and you can't stop
know me.
Is this okay? No, different one. This
There
is
you
a
go,
different
Kendra.
one. All right, thank you.
You know, you got to make a new watch together every time. I don't think you can reuse the same lobby, or if you do, you probably have to try like really hard to keep it up.
All right.
So you're excited for the moral dilemma of Freerun?
If all I just remember from this guy was the amount of begging he was doing on Twitter when everybody was like, "Guys, bro, I think this video is kind of bad," and literally he was like, "No, if you just take time to watch the video, it's not that bad." And literally every like anime YouTuber was like, "God, bro, I don't want to watch your video. You're just wrong."
Yeah, no, that's fair.
And not like the normal anime YouTubers. I mean like the ones that are like the dude like the cataloging and type of stuff, like the old school like fans who do like again cataloging. And it's like, man, if you have these people telling you like it's just a bad video, I'm not gonna watch it. This is just kind of sad and pathetic to watch.
Yeah. I was leaning back with their trolley pop.
Yes. It tastes delicious. I never thought I needed a gummy worm popsicle before. It's squishy.
Mostly in this kind of episodic adventure format, we head off to a new location, find they have some problem, typically monster related. We then solve said problem by killing said monster and move on to the next location. We might slow down while the party is traveling and meet new characters and go on fun side quests, but that's usually in between these long arcs where they stop dead in their tracks to deal with some big threat. And the most popular thing for the party to fight in this show, by far, are demons. Leftovers from the Demon King's army who kind of roam the land and cause problems, and who Freerun just loves killing, like a lot. Like maybe the most important thing about her besides being an elf is that she loves killing demons. Her tragic backstory is that—
What?
No. The most important thing about her that's very character defining is her just gathering useless spells. She loves collecting spells. Shut the fuck up.
No, the most
Just
character
skip.
defining thing about her is saying, "Oh, the hero Himmel would have liked this."
Not
Yeah,
only
that too.
listen, not only that, like, the demon killing doesn't happen until like a couple episodes in. like you didn't even find out about the demons. I'm pretty sure like maybe episode 4, 5 even, because I like watched a couple episodes and I
Yeah.
need to finish it. Like that doesn't get brought up until like later, and if it is brought up, it's because Himmel defeated the Demon King. That's it.
Yeah. Her the only time I really feel like she talks about demons is when the subject is specifically about demons. It's not like they're just chatting. It's not like Goblin Slayer where they're sitting in a corner and somebody says something and he just pops up and says, "Did you say goblins?"
Yeah. Not
No.
only that, like literally the whole thing of the show is like what is it? So I didn't watch the full show, but there's been like clips going around on YouTube and stuff, and they're actually pretty good. And literally one of the things that Flame, her mentor, said is, "Do you remember the words that the demon told you, the final words they said?" And Freeman said, "No." And Flame says, "Good. Do not trust their words. Do not even remember them. Do not even consider their words." It's like, what are you talking about?
Honestly, I think it's kind of funny that there's more outrage over Freerun than Goblin Slayer.
Yeah.
There was outrage about Goblin Slayer. It's just that Goblin Slayer is old
it was
now.
No,
it was
there's
only
an entire
episode 1 that people bitch about, and then they just left it alone.
No, there's an entire video about how Goblin Slayer's anti-Jew
What?
because the goblins are Jews.
You know what?
I have to say this every time I think about this because this guy says this shit and it's one of those things where it's like people on Twitter call me racist, but do you fucking hear yourself? Because he's talking about Goblet Slayer,
Hey,
and he goes, so they're long-nosed, long-eared, underground, greedy rapist. So basically they're caricatures of Jews. I'm like, what the fuck?
What the fuck?
What?
you know,
You had me at like long ears because it's like they have normal ears like regular people. What?
Yeah. And I'm like, what the fuck? You can't just say that. Thank you, Beardmaster, for the 5. Never once Freerin said her so. She loved to kill demons. She does it because that's the only thing to do. IDK, why this guy thinks Freerins enjoy it. Yeah, like when you consider the fact that demons are just wholesale evil, it's like pruning weeds from your garden, right? You don't love to prune weeds, but you have to do it, and it's if you don't, it kills the garden.
Mhm.
Like, it's not like, God, I just fucking love pruning weeds.
the other thing is,
Like, no,
Like,
I gotta do it.
Like the only way you would get that impression is if you were watching the memes on Twitter. You know, the funny memes on Twitter about Freerin being racist, which are so funny. They're really funny.
we're here to gather it all out.
Oh, this could be a long video.
Oh yeah.
The story is that demons destroyed her village and killed her people, so she's been specially trained to do magic to be able to kill them. And not only has she killed the most demons out of anyone in history, but she has become so famous for this that her nickname among demons is Freerin the Slayer, which, if you didn't know, is the Japanese title of the show.
今にわかるわ。そうそう
Find
の
a
フリ
friend in
レ
there. You find some
So this
ammunition,
show is, at
guns,
least partially,
guns.
named after this girl's love of killing demons, because demons are shown to be pure evil. They created an army that nearly took over the world after all.
My only complaint is that, yes, they do actually have, like, a unique name for Freerin, but none of the demons really seem, like, particularly worried about her. Like, everybody's like, ah, she's just some bitch, I could kill her. Your people have a name for her.
Like not only that, like they waited until like Himmel was dead because they thought Himmel was the the bad one.
Yeah. Well, I think about it with the new Doom games, the Bethesda Doom games. There's lore in those that the demons are actually shit scared of the Doom Slayer. That anytime they see him, like half of them just immediately run. Because they all know, like, he's just an unstoppable force of nature. And I feel like it would be better if, like, just one demon in the show was that way with Freerin. Where it's like, shit, it's Freerin the Slayer, get out!
No. Only
Instead of just, like, nah, I could take her.
Nah, I can take her in a fight, right?
Issue. Something
They
aura.
destroyed the villages of seemingly half the characters we meet and wiped out nearly 1/3 of humanity. They're the main antagonists of this story.
Wait,
The
hold up a
fantasy
second.
villain-
Did he just say seemingly killed the village of?
stand back.
No, seemingly killed the village of everybody we've met.
Yeah. I don't know why he's saying seemingly, considering that the characters point blank say the demons killed my village.
Yeah. I will say, one thing I find is quite funny, and this is more like a,
Chance of like
it's like prose or something, I forget the exact word for it. But basically, the fact that he keeps using this picture of a demon instead of, like, Aura or one of the other human-looking demons is inherently, like, damaging his case to people watching the video that don't know what Freerin is about. Because they see this and they're like, oh shit, the demons are scary, man. What the fuck? Like, if he's gonna, every time he mentions demon, he needs to put like a cute little picture of Aura up there crying if he really wants to like try and sell this argument to the average person. But no, he puts up this fucking guy every time.
Yeah, this guy shows up in like, I'm pretty sure episode 3 or 4. It's like, yeah, no, I can see why we kill him.
Yeah, pretty much.
Like, I'd kill him too. I would not have a chance, but I'd kill him too.
How do I shock Puddle again? Well, first off, the shock collar has to be funded. It's on my throne. It hasn't been funded yet.
Yep. Go fund the Puddle's shot collar. So then me, him, and Atari can all be shocked together.
Speaking of chat, I have a throne.
Y'all are masochists.
Did you see the video of that VTuber today? Oh my god, thank you for the 50 Devastator.
Devastator, Jesus Christ.
Was it, why isn't Kendra a pony? It's because I'm not a brony. I was a normal My Little Pony fan.
Oh, thank you, Gabby, for the 100 biddies.
Ooh.
As a side note, did you guys see that VTuber today that somebody bought like every item off of their throne, and they had shock collars connected to their throne?
Oh,
and the
that was my friend. That was cynical, wasn't it?
That was cynical, and she came live on stream.
I did see that.
I love Sin. She's done art for me. She's his friend. I'm not even shocked.
Is that a new
She
throne?
was
No, I've
shocked,
had
though.
that same throne. I just changed the name for it.
Well, at least she got stuff out of it. I thought that clip was just her getting donos back to back.
No,
Nope,
it was somebody
that was
bought like
throne.
every item off her throne, like literally 10 items in a row, and it just like spam shocked her. And I guess she's interested in the shocks because she came live on stream from that.
I gotta ask her how she sets it up to her throne. Be like, hey Sin, so how do you do this?
Later on, Freerun fight some tough demons, so I wouldn't think they'd run away just from hearing her name. No, that's fair. I'm not saying every demon has to run. I'm saying, like, a couple of the demons we've seen, it would have made more sense if they're like, shit's Freerun, I'm out.
She had the shock device on her thigh. Well, that's one of the safest places to have it.
Yeah, you're not supposed to put shock
Because-
devices on your neck.
Yeah, that can
Oh,
fuck
yeah,
you up.
Stop
Didn't
your
that
heart.
whole
You guys
There's
saw
a-
that one ESL person, they actually did put the shock collar on their neck, and I was like,
Yeah, they're dumb.
Yep.
oh!
It's like
It's undeserving.
there is a on the side shocks. They have a nice
Where?
little side shock. That's a shock collar that everyone uses. It's called side shock.
Yep.
They have a nice little chart to show you where you can put the shock device. And I guess for some reason it's very safe for you to just put it right on your genitals.
Well, yeah, it's fine. It'll hurt a lot, but like, it can't stop your heart if you get, you know, some ball shocks.
Hold on here, Kendra. I'll put it in.
What?
You just can't
Don't
put it on
question
your
because
neck.
a furry made this stuff.
Cook
But
those
anyways.
swimmers.
Of course
It's like here's
Yeah,
the
no chest or
yay
neck.
zones and no. Yep.
Because both of them can cause it to go to your heart, and if it goes to your heart, it can stop it.
Your thigh has enough fat to stop it.
And do
Correct.
you want to die on stream from a shock collar? Just think of the obituary the next day.
Okay, no, not even just that. Imagine being the person who funded that shock and it killed the person. What would you be an accessory to murder? at that
Why
point?
would you put a shock collar near your butt? Why would you put a shock collar near your butt?
Some people like it.
You know what?
Nipple
I'm
shocks
done
can
with
be
Peter
okay if
Bucket.
you have fat tits. Well, unfortunately, chat, that doesn't apply to me.
Yeah, Mizu's too male for that.
Of any sympathy, who we're told should be killed without mercy. Or, well, we're told that demons in Freerun are
Where are you going with it? We're told that. Yes, we're shown that. There isn't a single good demon at all. Point blank none.
Funny thing is, so this is spoilers for the manga. There is just one, and he's like, I think we can. You know, I'm kind of the exception, but I think if we rehabilitate more, there will be more like me. And Freeman point blank says, before that will happen, a lot of humans will die, and I'm not taking that risk.
I didn't think he was good though. My
No, not these ones. Just one in
no,
the
the
manga.
one you're
that's probably
talking
gonna-
about. My understanding wasn't that he was good. My understanding was that he still had like an innate desire to hurt humans, but he just suppressed it.
Yeah.
Like that just kind of makes him a ticking time bomb.
Very strange creatures though, right off the bat, because there is no like evil god or dark magic that really created them like in most fantasy settings. They seemingly don't have any connection to divinity at all. They're just a species of creature, same as everything else, and it's even revealed that they're a product of evolution. So the name demon is really the only connection they have to like biblical demons. They are monsters though, a vague classification in the story that basically just serves as a catch-all for anything you're not supposed to feel bad about killing. Dragons, mimics, big fucking wolf things, they're all monsters, which in the world of Frieren means they're evil, and they dissolve into mana upon death. It's this very video gamey way of basically telling the audience don't worry about it, and allows the author to paint the world in a clear black and white, as these monsters serve as the fodder enemies we fight week after week. However, even from their introduction, demons are shown to be very different from every other monster we encounter in the story, most importantly by being much more intelligent. Dragons are said to be maybe the second most.
Here's my immediate counterpoint, right?
Yeah.
Do you know what the most intelligent animal on, or one of the most intelligent animals on Earth is?
Elephants and dolphins?
Dolphins. Do you know what
Yeah.
dolphins are known for doing?
Raping everything.
If there
Getting
was,
high.
if there was a if there was a case to be made for an animal in the world that is innately evil, it is dolphins. Dolphins are actively malicious. They actively torture other animals for fun and games. They will actively sexually assault other animals for fun and games. Just because something is intelligent does not mean that it is good. Like,
Okay, but just imagine if dolphins had one, hands, and two, the ability to go on land for a specified period of time. What kind
We'd
of
have a
chaos would happen?
We'd have a dolphin version of the Clockwork Orange, that's what.
also killer whales. Yeah, killer whales are also toy with their food.
Yep.
But yeah, he immediately goes to the argument. It's like, but they're intelligent. Lots of things are intelligent and still evil. What the fuck are you talking about? Serial killers are very intelligent. You're gonna make a case for those too?
I mean, you don't get it. Some of them are very polite.
You can't say that, Lumi. You're a woman.
I'm not making any jokes. I can't.
I mean, come on. Women write books about them all the time. They're very
wanna get
polite. That means
stabbed.
it's hot.
To be fair, there is like multiple documentaries about Jeffrey Dahmer. He would just politely invite people to his home.
And they would go because they're dumb.
Most intelligent of the monsters, but they don't really do much to act like it, and things like mimics and beasts are just completely mindless. It is only in demons that we see actual human intelligence, and quite a lot of it. And when we first see demons in the story, you might be surprised to see that they can express emotions and empathy and kindness. They can speak with humans, and quite eloquently in fact. They seem to be pretty dang human themselves. You know, if you talk to any demon on the street, you would most definitely be fooled into thinking they're a race of sentient being, not a monster. And many people are fooled, because it's a trick. The way demons are explained to work in Frieren is a lot like mimics. This creature that I mentioned they evolved from was apparently something that could replicate human voices and cry for help, getting people to lower their guard to go after it only to kill them. But demons evolved so much from that creature that they are now able to fully replicate humans. They look like humans, aside from the horns in their head, they can act like humans, even expressing complex emotions, and they can speak like humans and understand our language, but all in service of being able to kill us, all as part of a deception to lower our guard, as we're repeatedly told that demons are actually nothing more than wild beasts, savage monsters who will do anything to satiate their desire to kill. This description of demons as wild beasts is actually one that not only Frieren the character gives, but the demons agree with. I mean, in their introduction, one of them looks into the camera and says, "Yes, we are wild beasts. We just want to kill humans. Frieren is right about us." And their actions largely align with this, as in pretty much every subsequent encounter we have with them, they are lying or killing humans, usually resulting in Frieren stepping in to live up to her nickname. So the story makes it incredibly clear very early on and tells us over and over again that demons are evil, monsters that kill and eat people without remorse. Any bit
I'm wondering. Yeah, I'm with chat. Where's he going with this? Because
My thing is, it also makes sense because it's like there are animals that do that too.
yeah,
Mhm.
like I don't. I'm confused by like what where he's going with this, and don't think about it in context like to humans, because I think that's where a lot of people get hung up on. Think about how many animals are their entire existence is dedicated to eating whatever creature is considered their food, like solely just eating what they consider food. Like, yes, to the lesser creatures they eat, they would be seen sort of like demons would too. In the context of the show, demons are like alpha predators.
My last.
So
Regular
yes,
change.
they do. Their entire existence is just to kill humans.
They
So
just gather
penis
material.
made for people.
But don't you know, Mizu? Demon lives matter.
But yeah, I'm confused where he's going with this. Like the show tells you all of this stuff, and it shows you all of this stuff. Yeah. I don't understand.
And it's like he also references that the demons say it too. Yeah, they're most likely also saying it because they are mimicking what Freerin is saying because that's their whole shtick anyway.
Of emotion or empathy they might show is just a part of their deception. So, if you see a demon on the street, you should kill them, because they're definitely going to kill you. Freerin actually wants to go so far as to eradicate them entirely. But the problem with this is that while the story is telling us they are mindless, immoral killing machines that warrant the protagonist wishing for their destruction, it often shows us something very different. And I'll just go over a few.
Jump on them.
What are you talking about? Every
What?
time we see demons, they're murdering people.
Were you?
I already know what he's gonna. I already know because somebody else made a video similar to this. It was way shorter, but he's probably gonna bring up the same arguments.
Okay, I guess we'll see.
Somebody playing their
Examples. The introduction to demons in the story begins with a group that is trying to make peace with
Yeah,
the
but you see
residents
that
of a town that
mark on
Freerin
the
is
left side of your
visiting.
screen?
Freerin actually sees them be welcomed into the
There's
town and
positive
moves to
19.
attack them before getting arrested, which is where we get the
That's
scene
how I
of
know
her
this
calling them
player.
wild beasts. And our introduction to the demon's trickery,
Ow.
which proves Freerin right, is when during the peace talks, one of the demons is threatened by someone over the death of their son, to which the demon responds by saying they too lost a father, which spares their life. Yet later, when it's just two demons alone together, one of them asks what a father even is, and they don't know. This is very clearly meant to be a reveal for the audience, an almost comically straightforward one, because again, immediately after this, the demon sits down and tells the audience that they only speak human language to hunt and kill. But at the same time, with that knowledge, this is a scene that completely baffles me, because why would the other demon even bother to ask this question? One, this means that demons seemingly don't have their own language and just use human speech to talk to each other, even when humans aren't around, which directly contradicts them telling us there's only one reason they speak like humans. Two, if language is just a tool used to deceive, and they already picked up what a father was based on context clues, well enough to be able to use it in a conversation, why would they care what it means? The word has already served its purpose. They've already figured out how to use it effectively. To inquire about it further means they have a willingness to understand human language
Check down below.
beyond just
Check it
deception.
out.
And as
Or it
Yeah,
was
they
a
all-
creative way to tell the audience that they're lying without coming out and saying, by the
Yeah,
way, we lied.
That way.
Yep.
Not only that, it's like the reason why he used it in that context for context clues is because the knight is holding a sword to his neck
Yeah.
so that he doesn't die.
This actually comes up with the scene with Himmel, where the girl the little girl demon just says mother, and then she says, "Why do you say mother?" And she says, "Oh, it prevents you from killing us."
Right here.
The demons have learned that just invoking the idea of a mother and a father is a really easy way to garner sympathy and prevent people from attacking them.
Yeah, it's all not like there's also the fact that people just do that forget about the demons in Freerun. People do that all the time. Just look at Twitter. People will just say stuff and not even know what it means. So of course they're gonna do the same thing because the whole thing about them is that they're mimicking human nature.
Yeah, they literally call it a magic word. Exactly. Like And the thing is, he's seen the show. Like, it'd be different if he was maybe criticizing this from, like, not having seen it, and then you could come in and be like, okay, well, you probably should have finished the show because that gets answered later. But even then, you're still reading way too much into it right now. Like, this tells us all this stuff about the demons. No, it tells us that they're liars and that they don't even understand the words they're using when they lie. They just know they work. Oh, look at Lumi yawning. That's cute.
Shut up.
Come on,
of
Lumi, you're
genuine
cute.
curiosity, which also directly contradicts what the demon tells us. In that same chapter, actually.
Okay, so sorry, I did kind of cut him out a little bit. He's trying to say that the demons having genuine curiosity contradicts them being wild beasts to kill humans. No, it doesn't. Polar bears kill literally anything around them. You can still catch them being curious and playful in the snow. Like, curiosity does not inherently make something good or bad. Curiosity is just a thing. Everything, every creature in the world wants to understand things to some degree.
Yeah, it's like heck. Even with something as simple as like cats. Cats are curious about the mice that they're about to kill.
Yeah.
Serial killers are curious about the body.
Well, I'm curious about the bodies too, but it doesn't mean I'm killed them.
Yeah, curiosity does not exclude you from being an evil beast out to kill humans.
The big flashback we're given to drive the nail in the coffin that demons are evil begins with a kid demon who killed a child. The hero's party wants to spare the demon, despite Frieren saying to kill it, because the demon begs for its mother. But despite her wishes, they let it live, and after enough time passes that the town takes the demon in, it kills the mayor and offers his child as a replacement, which is a terrible offer, so they get obliterated. Once again, begging for their mother before dying. Frieren asks why it says this when demons don't understand the concept of families, and it replies, because it stops you from killing me. And again, this is a reveal for the audience. It's just laying it on thick that demons lie and kill, and that's it. But importantly,
it's not necessarily just laying it on thick that they lie and they kill. It's laying it on thick that what they've picked up from humans in order to manipulate humans. And that they have learned that humans do have close ties to family, and that's an easy like manipulation tactic. Even if they themselves do not understand the concept of family, they understand its importance to humans.
It's like, okay, this is such a weird comparison, but I'll do the comparison anyway. It's like, you know that dog that was trained to use buttons that say specific words?
Yeah.
I'm convinced that channel is bullshit, but I do know what you're talking about.
It's like, I honestly don't think it's bullshit because, what was it? This one clip that, like, blew up like crazy, was, like, the dog suddenly realized it's a dog and not to its owners, and it just said, why dog? And then the dog had to be put on an antidepressant. But, like, the demons use the exact same thing. They learn words, they learn the connections, and then they just repeat the exact same thing. Oh, I'm in the situation again. Time to use this word. It gets me out of situation. Shit like that. So,
yeah.
If you can train a dog to be depressed because it finds out it's a dog, I think a demon could do it.
People like this are too insistent on somehow making it about real life people, and thus already have an opinion, and they motivated reason their way to it. Yeah, no, it's one of those things where it's like, it is a fictional universe. When the author says this is how a thing is, it's just how it is. Also, thank you for the Gabby. But yeah, like with fictional universes, when the author says, in my universe, this is how it works. Demons are mindlessly evil, and there are no good ones. Then in his universe, the demons are mindlessly evil and there are no good ones. He is the author. You can criticize him for being inconsistent, Like, maybe his writing gets a little inconsistent at some point, but you can't question the lore, because he has told you what the lore is. That's how it works.
Not only that, there's like thousands upon thousands of isekai out there that already make them sympathetic. Heck, literally Redo of Healer makes them sympathetic.
Actually, he wants to watch Tokyo Ghoul. Unironically, that's what he wants. Think about like he wants Tokyo Ghoul.
I haven't watched Tokyo Ghoul since season 1. Man,
yeah,
I refused to pick it up after I heard they absolutely butchered the season.
They did.
No, don't. So what is it? Season 2 is non-canon. Basically skips all nuance because they wanted to rush the ending.
Also reintroduces like 30 plot important characters over 2 episodes. Like, no joke, like literally 30 plot important characters to the manga are just like randomly thrown in at different moments without even telling you who they are. And if you didn't read the manga, you would have no idea who the fuck they are or why they're important.
That is fucking insane. It's like, I always find it so fascinating when an anime has a second season that in the future is no longer regarded as canon. Can be seen in 2 separate ways. There's the Tokyo Ghoul season 2 where people absolutely fucking hate it. Yep. But then there's a Black Butler season 2 where, yeah, sure, some people hate it, but a lot of people love it because of Eloise. And Eloise is, I love it. So
that's me. That's canon. Me. To be fair,
I wish Eloise Transy was canon and Klon.
To be fair, with current revelations of the Black Butler manga, it was very clear that this was supposed to be like what future Black Butler is. It's just that they butchered it so badly that it's like, wow, I love these characters. This thing sucks though.
Well, yes, it sucks, but I love the characters. They're great. I love the twins. I forget the maid's name, the one that gets her eye like fucking ripped out, but then it's like, oh, stop being a baby. Stop faking, bitch.
Oh no, I hate her character. Her character is absolutely pointless because she basically just stands there, gets tortured, and then dies.
So that's the best part about her. She gets tortured and dies.
But yeah,
she's literally there to be the self-insert.
But yeah, this guy just wants a Tokyo Ghoul, because in Tokyo Ghoul, for those of you who haven't seen it, there's like a separate offshoot of humans called ghouls that they literally have to eat humans to survive. And it's a huge plot point very early on that, yes, ghouls are liars and deceptive, but they're liars and deceptive because they have to be to survive, and they would rather not eat people if they could help it, but they really can't help it. It's a part of their physiology. They don't have a choice. That's what he wants Freerun to be. He wants the demons to have like some sympathetic, like, oh, well, they have to kill people. They really don't want to, but they don't have a choice whether or not they do it. Go watch Tokyo Ghoul. This isn't Tokyo Ghoul. These demons just suck ass.
But Tokyo Ghoul sucks, and I don't read manga.
And granted, even in Tokyo Ghoul, to a degree, there is still an argument to be made that if there's an entire other species of people that have to eat humans to survive, yeah, they probably do have to die for humans to prosper. Like that. I'm just saying.
Not only that, but even like Tokyo Ghoul, like they cover that, yeah, some people don't want to eat ghoul, and then you got characters like Rize. It's like, yeah, no, I want to eat humans. I want to eat humans so much. That's literally why she has the title, the binge eater ghoul.
To be fair, it's implied there are multiple different binge eaters. She is just a very notorious one.
Exactly.
Because there's a couple different classifications, including cannibals and binge eaters and gourmets.
First off, gourmet. I'll take my rib bone with a side of stomach, please.
It shows they lie out of self-preservation. In fact, that's the most common way we see them deceiving people, begging for their life. Which is also strange because we're explicitly told they are being deceptive by doing this, yet they are genuinely begging for their life. They genuinely don't want to die and are acting afraid of dying in order to not die. But if that's not enough, demons show
I've heard this argument before. I don't think it is inconsistent for demons to have like such a narcissistic care for themselves that they don't want to die.
Not only that, what
If you don't want to die, you must feel empathy for other people. No, that's not how that works.
Not only that,
It's like okay. Oh, you go ahead first.
What is it? Not only that, from literally the pages he just showed, that is likely the last thing their previous victims said when they killed them.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like I haven't read the manga, but I would love to see a panel of like a demon being killed by something other than a human to see if they still use human speech to beg for their life or if they just start wailing out like a beast or something like that, just to show what like how they try to beg for mercy without like, you know, having to influence a human to change their mind.
The only example I think we have of a demon that you could argue 100% was showing real sad emotion was probably Aura. Specifically because Frieren had already turned around before Aura even began to off herself. So she was performing for herself. There was nobody else to see it.
Yep.
That is, in the show, that's the only example you could probably think of demons having a genuine fear response to dying. Everything else could be used as an argument of manipulation.
Yep.
And he doesn't even show her. Like, that's what's confusing me. She is, at least in the internet terms, she is long since been considered the most sympathetic one, even though she's not. To be clear, she's not sympathetic. But the internet does see her as the most sympathetic because she's a cute girl, and Frieren forces her to off herself rather than going through like this big battle where Frieren ends up having to kill her out of necessity.
Not only that, but I'm pretty sure Aura's not even like, well, she's scared that she's about to die, but she's mostly like shocked, like as she's like offing herself, she's mostly shocked about the fact that this person that I thought was powerful than me is more powerful than me, and I can't believe I got deceived by my own technique.
You have to be sentient to be afraid of dying. Exactly. That's the thing that, like, this argument he's making makes no fucking sense at all. If you don't want to die, you're a good person deep down. Well, fucking what? Shut up.
It's like everything is afraid of death. So why do you think like when another animal's getting mauled by a predator, they're screaming out in pain? Yeah. Shit like that. Everything is afraid of dying.
Thank you for the booba.
They can just show it in varying degrees.
Yeah. I don't necessarily doubt, though, because we see it with the little girl that Frieren kills, has zero response at all. Like, even when she's saying mom, she's just, like, flatly saying it. She's not putting emotion behind it. So there might very well be a thing where demons are scared to die to a degree, but they don't have, like, the emotion. They don't have the real internal emotions to show it. They just act it out.
Yep.
Yeah.
Actual genuine emotion all the goddamn time. They are often described as prideful and arrogant. They feel genuine excitement and anger and shock and fear in ways that cannot be explained by them just imitating humans to get an advantage, as it is so often not beneficial in any way. With demons calling Frieren a bitch or getting mad at her when she kills them, or expressing some emotion when humans aren't even present, sometimes even in their inner monologue. Going even one step further, one of the first big fights in chapter 20, the conclusion to the demons pretending to make peace with the town, ends with one of the demons getting cut in half by Stark and the other demon crying out their name, which gives Fern enough of an opening to kill them. The way the anime frames it makes it seem like they might just be calling for their ally to help them, but they do cry out after the other demon is dead, while looking in their direction. After it's already been established, they can sense when another demon dies. So this feels almost intentionally written like the demon is crying out because their ally died.
They didn't cry out, though. They just looked over and said their name. Like, I don't... I feel like you're playing up what he did.
Not only that, they're mimics.
Yeah.
The mimic doesn't turn off.
Exactly. Also, welcome to the puddle, Zimzixum.
Like, the whole thing is that they're, like, advanced mimics, so of course they're gonna do advanced mimic things. It's not like the mimics with the chest where they just sit there until like somebody comes. They're gonna eat other things before a human comes. It's just that humans are a bigger meal. The mimicry does not turn off just because they're alone. Yeah, they'll probably have moments where they quote unquote shut it off, but that's not how it works. It's like saying like an animal. It's like saying like an animal just, what is it? Like a lion that stops stalking a gazelle, just stops doing lion things.
So because somebody mentioned it earlier, was his argument could be stronger, because what he's trying to do is to say that the demons do have a genuine like emotional birth, and they're not just mimicking humans, that they do understand the emotions, that they do understand and have emotions. But that's A, that's not necessarily true, and B, even if that were what these scenes showed, I would argue you can give the writer like a little bit of leeway, because the show could get kind of boring if everybody was just never showing any emotion at all. Like, it would get kind of weird.
No, and like also again, a lot of what the demons are saying could literally be just other things that their previous victims have said, and they're mimicking that.
Yeah, it's like there's already an inbuilt explanation, but even if we want to ignore the inbuilt explanation, you can still go, okay, well, maybe the writer just made a little oopsie and had them show a little bit too much emotion because he forgot, like, he was writing an emotionless demon. That doesn't necessarily break the lore of his world. Because he's already told you what the lore is. Like, what's the saying? Word of God? It's a word of God. He's told you. Demons evil, emotionless, just out to kill humans.
They smiled once, they're still gonna kill you.
Out is what drops their guard and gets them killed, which looks to me like a pretty clear-cut expression of empathy. Now, you could maybe argue that the demons have just gotten so good at mimicking humans that they do so involuntarily, but if this is involuntary, often completely detrimental, and ingrained within the demons so deeply they even do it when nobody else is around and cannot stop doing it to save their life, then there is functionally no difference between the mimicked emotion and the real thing. Though
Yes, there is. You were saying if somebody is acting so much like a character that they struggle to not act like the character, that they might as well just be the character. No, because they're still acting. It's still not them. It's still not their real emotion.
You know, it's like, I don't think he's ever met somebody that takes on the traits of somebody that they're jealous of, because people do this all the time. Especially, like, I can name a couple VTubers who just flat out mimic another VTuber one for one, because they want the exact same success. I've seen girls in high school do the exact same thing, to the point where it's like, oh, are you guys siblings? No, we're not. Type of shit. It's weird. A lot of stalkers do that, especially if the stalker is of the same gender. Hell, obviously he's never seen Perfect Blue.
Oh yeah, and chat has it right. It's not empathy. His ally just died, and he's now in a worse strategic position. It's self-preservation.
Not only that, has this guy never watched like a live-action movie before? That's like saying anybody who like acts a character in a movie, it's like, oh, well, you can't turn that off.
Yeah.
But in chat, the guy who played Elvis in the Elvis movie couldn't stop doing the voice after the movie finished.
What's his name that played Dr. House had a limp for years and had to go to therapy for it? Because he couldn't stop
it's called
limping.
Getting too much into character. Especially if you play that role for an extremely long time.
Oh, the House is a good one. So the guy that played Dr. House, he's actually British. Not only after doing the show for so long could he not stop limping, but he also, like, it was hard for him to get out of his American accent. And it's basically like saying, oh, because he couldn't stop limping, he actually did have a broken leg. Like, no.
Laurie, I was surprised to find out he was actually British. I'm like, huh?
Hey, wow, his accent's really good.
Oh, yeah. But no, it's basically like saying, oh, his leg was really broken because he couldn't stop walking without the limp. No, it's like the human mind is fucking weird, dude. we don't understand a lot about it, and a lot of weird shit can happen with it.
So perhaps the strongest contradiction in the demon's nature is that they do actually have some sense of morality. The one thing you would think they obviously don't, because we're also told that to demons, one's mana level is a source of pride, and almost all demon hierarchies are simply built on who has the most mana.
How is that morals?
If anything, that's classist.
I don't understand where he's going. They have a sense of morality because the stronger demon is on the top. Or he's on top because he's the stronger one.
Yep.
Are you fucking stupid? What?
So a technique that Frieren has mastered to be effective at killing demons is to suppress her mana at all times, to appear to have a low amount, to trick a demon into fighting her so she can kill them. It's something she's even taught Fern since pretty much the beginning. This is already interesting because it directly mirrors how demons trick humans with words to kill them, and it comes across as Frieren playing by their rules to get an advantage, literally using that arrogance the demons are described as having against them. But the more interesting part is that when that demon from earlier, the one who cried out at their ally dying, learns that Fern was concealing her mana, they call
I do have to kind of point this out. I think he's really attributing this whole like arrogance and pride thing to demons. But even in the context of the show, that's not necessarily arrogance or pride. That's mana is like an active measure of strength that they can physically see. So they see you have very low mana. They're like, okay, you're very weak. I can kick your ass. It's kind of like with bears, right? So you know, there's with one of the bears, I think it's black bears, that you're supposed to make yourself look as big as possible because they see size as like a measure of strength. And then I also learned this with kangaroos. So kangaroos, before they start kicking each other, they'll actually punch each other with those scrawny little arms. And they see how hard you can punch as a measure of strength. Because once they start kicking, they're actually going to start knocking each other out. So if you punch really hard on a kangaroo, typically they'll back down. Because they're like, oh wow, your legs are probably fucking ripped if that's what your punch is like. And that doesn't necessarily mean that they have like they have an innate sense of pride. They just now understand that you're bigger or stronger than them in their mind, so they're not going to fight. And if you're smaller or weaker than them, yeah, they're going to fight because they can win. That's not pride or arrogance. That's the animal kingdom, survival of the fittest.
Not only that, but it's like they not only measure their mana because like when you because like as you said, they measure their mana with strength and stuff, and like see this like the screenshot he's showing on screen. You cowards, you two are a disgrace. It's like that's supposed to show how hypocritical they are because they're literally mimicking humans so that they can kill them. Yet the moment they're turned back on them, they're like, "Oh, that's cheating." It's like, no, you're trying to kill people.
Thank you for the 10, Devastator. He just says, Lumi.
Hi.
And then, thank you for the raid, Temp. Much appreciated.
Hi, Jody.
They don't see the point in hiding their mana. Exactly. But he's going down this weird list of, oh, it's a sense of pride. No, it's just they already don't really understand human emotions that much. They don't understand the necessity to hide their mana. Like, it's kind of implied in the show that it's only a very select number of people that can really properly measure the mana on the level that Frieren is. And the only one who really uses hiding their mana level as a deceptive tactic to any useful degree is Frieren. Because Aura specifically calls it out that it normally when a person hides their mana, it like flickers. So you can tell that they're hiding it because it's impossible to keep it flat at all times. And it's really just Frieren and Fern that have mastered it to the point they can keep it perfectly suppressed at all times. And Frieren's master, obviously.
Yep.
her a coward, They are visibly disgusted by it. Because again, demons are proud of their mana and think concealing it is a lowly thing to do. So the demon's morality might not align with ours. They're still totally okay with killing after all, but they must have some sense of morality to believe concealing mana to trick them is wrong. There is no...
They're just mad, bro.
No.
It's literally
It's not.
It's like
not
when
a
you get
moral
no-scoped in
thing.
Call of Duty and you call the other guy a faggot.
Yeah.
It's not because you think the guy is immoral, it's you're mad that you lost.
And it's
Yeah.
supposed to show their hypocrisy. It's like, so you're literally trying to deceive me by being human as much as possible, but when I hide my mana, suddenly you're mad.
Chat, I'm gay. I'm allowed to use the F-bomb. I literally have a boyfriend.
It's like he's not understanding anything.
They truly
Yeah, no, he doesn't get it at all.
moral being would not think there is such a thing as an action that is wrong. And there isn't even an explanation of this being part of their mimicry because it's something only demons care about. So right now, I'd like to take a tangent to discuss a different story that isn't Frieren, but it's one that Frieren very obviously takes a lot of inspiration from, because it's the story most fantasy series take inspiration from, because it's The Lord of the Rings. J.R.R. Tolkien's fantasy book series is fairly famous for having pretty definitive morality. Characters that are depicted as unambiguously good or evil, on the side of light or dark. And with this, it portrays some races as entirely on one side, the most common of which being orcs. They are human-like creatures who are bred for war by various dark armies, including Sauron's. They are pure evil, existing only to kill and destroy and oppose the...
I swear to God, if he brings up the Rings of Power, I'm leaving.
Tell me, please tell me.
I
No,
swear
I'm-
to fucking God, if he brings up fucking Glug from the Rings of Power, and it's like, oh, but look, he has family, guys. That Rings of Power is clearly showing that they aren't all bad. Shut the fuck up.
If he starts comparing orcs to minorities, I'm leaving.
As a very knowledgeable Lotra fan, I'm about to ruin this old man's existence. Also, I know they don't appear very often, but I personally find the orcs to be a very boring enemy in the Lord of the Rings movies. The Haradrim are so much more interesting. The Haradrim and Mumukali, their fight in the movies, oh, so good. The giant war elephants. Orcs are evil. If you're retarded about Frieren, don't step to Mr. Tolkien. So I know the Uruk-hai are made in Lord of the Rings. Are the orcs like an actual race?
I'm pretty sure
And it's just
from
the
what
Uruk-hai are made?
from what little I know, I'm pretty sure someone mentioned that they are technically like, they're like created. They're like not born, they're just created.
Fair.
But again, I'm not really knowledgeable about it.
Corrupted elves. Okay, so they are made still. They're just not like the Uruk-hai where they're like birthed in the fucking mud pits or whatever.
Yeah, orcs were originally created by the first Dark Lord Morgoth by corrupting and twisting captured elves through torture and dark sorcery.
Do a Lotro movie night? I kind of want to. I want to. If I do, though, I want to do the what do you call it? Director's cut.
The director's cuts are great.
Invite me to that. I want to see.
Every Monday.
Nice. Don't worry, guys. It's Mizu's channel. He can chill as much as he wants.
We are gonna see though, if he brings up the Rings of Power or if he just complains about the fact that orcs are unambiguously evil.
and oppose the forces of good. Their purpose in the story, much like the demons in Frieren, is solely to be an antagonist to our heroes that they can kill lots of without remorse. However, it's important to note that the evilness of the creatures in
I would like to point out you can kill them regardless without remorse.
Yep.
And I just mentioned it. In one of the battles, they have an entire human faction show up on battle elephants. You don't feel bad for any of them getting killed, even though they're all obviously human, because they're against the forces of good. Like, they don't have to be, like, mindlessly evil for us to cheer against them getting killed because we know they're working for the Dark Lord Sauron, who's trying to ruin the whole world. Like, it wouldn't matter even if there were some good ones in the movie. They're still at war with the forces of good.
Well, you see, minority.
Middle Earth, if you really get into it, all come from someone called Morgoth, who is the fantasy equivalent of Satan. And I mean that literally. J.R.R. Tolkien was a devout Catholic and modeled The Lord of the Rings heavily after his own religion. Morgoth is literally meant to be a stand-in or representation of Satan, a fallen angel who corrupts those around him, and is responsible for most of the evil in the world, as the creatures Morgoth and later Sauron control are almost all evil because of this corruption. Basically every evil, intelligent character in the novels, from Sauron.
Did you notice he said almost all evil?
Yep.
I noticed you snuck that one in there, buddy. Don't worry, I heard that.
Saruman to Grima Wormtongue were not evil to begin with. They've simply been turned evil over time. Some by choice, others through torture or pondering their orbs too long. Even the giant flaming demon Balrog that Gandalf fights is described as being a lesser angel that has simply been turned. Hell, Sauron himself was corrupted. The only creatures that are described as being totally 100% evil from birth are beings created by Morgoth, who we're told are evil because they don't have souls. This is something that also comes directly from Tolkien's Catholic theology, by the way. This idea that evil cannot make, only mock. Satan/Morgoth cannot create anything with a soul, because to be born with a soul means you're a blank slate, and blank slates are good by default, so only God/Eru has the power to make that. Satan/Morgoth can only corrupt those beings. To make something evil by default, they basically have to be a homunculus with no soul or sentience. So when we get to orcs, the most basic and simple and one of the oldest and most influential evil fantasy creatures, J.R.R. Tolkien encountered a problem, a moral dilemma, where in many of the stories they show up in, orcs are able to speak, they're able to make decisions, express emotions. Treebeard describes them as participating in orcish mischief. And I mean, they still kill and eat people, they still don't have any human morality, but they understand what morality is, and consider some actions to be right or wrong. So just on the basis of all that, they must be sentient. They must have.
You haven't shown any of that. You just showed that, like, they get up to mischief and shit.
He literally just explained why something was made the way it is, and then he's literally like, no, guys, they totally feel things.
He read Word of God and then proceeded to argue with God.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Yeah, the only thing he keeps showing is this Treebeard quote where he says, well, they were up to orcish mischief. That doesn't mean that they were being, like, cute and cuddly and funny little guys. Like, mischief is a word outside of, like, what we used to describe children doing. It just means they were wrecking shit up. Like, I don't... And it is so weird that he mentions directly, so all orcs are inherently evil because they have no souls and they're made by the universe's equivalent of Satan. Here's why I'm gonna say that actually Tolkien made a mistake and orcs are actually good. What the fuck are you smoking? You literally just said they're soulless husks made by the universe equivalent of Satan.
But I mean, dude, they just be doing a little orc experiments. They just having a little orc time.
Also, it's like when it comes to the orcish mischief that was quoted, that includes wanton destruction, general malevolence, and ferocious nature, which is, just generalizing violence.
I mean,
killing.
I'd have to read the chapter he's taking it from, but considering they're talking to Treebeard, they're likely talking about the fact that the orcs were cutting down the Ents and using them to, fuel their mud pits.
It's not just tee hee, haha, we just stole this chicken. No, it's not just that.
I need to know where he's going with this, because he's not making any sense.
Have a
Yeah,
soul.
orcs-
And when the books treat them as unsympathetic monsters that are killed in the thousands, you can see where Tolkien had an issue. Because remember, all of the other evil creatures are corrupted and are thus given the chance to change. They have the choice to become good again, to fight this corruption, and many do. Several
Actually, even though Sauron and the Balrog are described as fallen, there is never a point in the series that Tolkien makes it sound like they can fix themselves.
The whole point of corruption is that they're corrupted.
Like, I'm pretty sure there's some parts where he kind of explicitly says that when the corruption gets so deep, there's no way back out of it. Like, this is not a Darth Vader situation where just meeting his son at the very end can turn his sappy ass back around to the light side. No, some people are so corrupted, they're fucked. Permanently.
You can even, like, physically see it in the pictures he's showing. Like, the other guy, like, not Sauron, Moltar or whatever, like, he is, like, decked out in, like, corruption. And the orcs are, like, almost as equally as, like, decked out in corruption. This guy looks like he just had one bad day, but someone talked to him.
Saying something is not evil because they're monsters. It's just semantics. Things are written to be evil by a writing standpoint. Yes, that's the point. Like, he read Word of God earlier, and Word of God literally says they're soulless, mindless husks of evil. That is Word of God. That is where, like, everything ends and begins. Now you're just fighting with Tolkien about his own fucking book, which is, by the way, considered one of the most, like, detailed, well-written universes ever because of how much effort he put into it.
evil characters in the novels get redemption, and the ones who don't typically have some moment where they could repent but choose not to. And because of this, they're all shown at least some amount of mercy until they do something that proves they don't deserve it. Yet the orcs are never given this mercy, especially in the movies where they are just decapitated and bifurcated and mowed down without a second thought. They're never given the chance to change. They're never treated with any of the respect the other evil characters are. They're just fodder. The characters never even think of the possibility of them being redeemable. So this became something that really bothered Tolkien. He never explicitly commented on his feelings about it, but he did try very hard to find a possible solution for it.
So he wrote, orcs, their nature and origin require more thought. They are not easy to work into the theory and system. Only Eru could make creatures with independent wills and with reasoning powers, but orcs seem to have both. They can try to cheat Morgoth, Sauron, rebel against him, or criticize him. Therefore, they must be corruptions of something pre-existing, but men had not yet appeared when the orcs already existed. Eru would not sanction the work of Melkor as to not to allow the independence of the orcs, not unless orcs were ultimately redeemable or could be amended and saved. So I think he is just, like, coping really hard here. This is Tolkien just going like, shit, I think I've accidentally put a plot hole in this. Like, this isn't him saying the orcs need to be redeemed, or the orcs, like, should have an option to be redeemed, and he feels bad about not giving them that option. He's saying, shit, based on my own lore, I might have accidentally included a plot hole with how the orcs work. Because I wanted them to be interesting, but I also, in lore, wrote it in a way where they're not allowed to be interesting.
It's like, technically things can be redeemed and whatever, but as far as I'm aware, we never seen a fully corrupted creature, like an orc, be fully redeemed and returned back to the good side. Shit like that. And it's like, especially if, like, because, like, I know I'm bringing up Rings of Power. I am sorry, and I know it's not considered canon, but a lot of morons like to think it is. But with Rings of Power kind of fucking this up a bit, it shows that there are children orcs, which means orcs reproduce with one another. So can you still say that, like, an orc that was raised in an environment like that can be redeemed into something that it never was in the first place?
Yeah.
It's a whole nature versus nurture type of thing all over again. But at this point, it's like, unless the orc was one of the original corrupted elves that were once good and then tortured into being what it is now, I honestly don't think there's any redemption for that.
Yeah. No, I just think he's like misreading this. And he's trying to read it as if Tolkien feels bad about what he did with orcs, but it reads more like the guy who wrote the fucking Silmarillion is like, shit, I might have accidentally put in a plot hole, my bad.
Yeah.
A way to justify the orc's acting and being treated like that, something you can especially see in his responses to letters that fans wrote to him about this subject. He even went out of his way to try and come up with alternate backstories for the orcs that would fix this, but always ran into the same dilemma. In one scenario, the orcs are descended from elves who were tortured and corrupted by Morgoth, but that means they have souls and shouldn't have been killed indiscriminately. In the original scenario, the orcs are created by Morgoth as imitations of elves. But in that case, they shouldn't really be intelligent because that requires sentience and a soul. The final solution Tolkien left us with in his notes before passing away was just to essentially canonize all of these different contradictory origins, give each of them in his different stories and explanations of the world, so that the true nature of the orcs was left mysterious and you wouldn't have to think about it.
Yeah, he is thinking about this completely wrong. He's like, Tolkien was stuck in a genuine moral dilemma. No, Tolkien was a super autistic guy who cared so extremely much about the work he had created that he's trying to, like, he's really obsessive over this plot hole he accidentally made. And he doesn't know how to fix his plot hole. It has nothing to do with, like, some moral shit about orcs.
But is it not only that, he's like the whole thing, he's like, okay, so he's like covers the stuff where it's like, well, the orcs shouldn't be intelligent if they're created, and it's like they have to be, they cannot have souls and still make battle plans because humans aren't literal meat sticks that walk around. It's because humans strategize too.
Yeah, like he's just misreading this so hard. In my opinion, obviously, I'm not friends with Tolkien, like, so I don't know that this is what Tolkien is getting at here. But to me, it feels like it's just a really autistic guy who really, really cares about the story he crafted, and he's upset that he accidentally put a plot hole in it. I don't think he actually cares about orcs that much. He's just like, shit, it's a plot hole and I can't fix it. So he wrote himself into a corner and couldn't find a way out that he felt was good enough. Pretty much, yeah, that's what I feel. And this guy seems like he's trying to make it as like he had some genuine moral dilemma over the existence of orcs.
Well, don't you, Mizu? Don't you have your moral dilemma over this?
Yes. Should we kill them quickly in mass amounts or just one by one?
Okay, I honestly think we should attempt to go the ghost ship approach with the only good scene, which was the opening of that movie, where just that wire pops out and just cuts everybody in half.
Yeah. Also, yeah, chat has the other thing that I already said. There was no morality issue. The orcs were going to kill them. Why shouldn't they defend themselves indiscriminately? They're literally fighting for the Dark Lord against the forces of good. Yeah, you should be able to kill them indiscriminately. You're fighting for the fate of the earth.
No, every single one, all the orcs come in a row, and then you give each orc in the row a therapy session. If they don't change, kill them. If they do change, bring them on your side, and just do that for the next couple of years till the war just stalls. Don't worry, the Dark Lord is just gonna sit there and he's just gonna wait.
He's gonna get bored.
Though he did tend to prefer the idea that they were corrupted. To quote Tolkien directly, the origin of the orcs is a matter of debate. Some have called them the milk-
Oh, thank you, Bandog, for the 5. Basically, when men find out they can't actually fix her. Literally broke Tolkien's brain that he couldn't fix her.
Kurohini, the children of Melkor, who is Morgoth, by the way, they're the same person. But the wiser say nay, the slaves of Melkor, but not his children, for Melkor had no children. Melkor was impotent to produce any living thing, but skilled in the corruption of things that did not proceed from himself, if he could dominate them. But if he had indeed attempted to make creatures of his own in imitation or mockery of the incarnates, he would, like Aole, only have succeeded in producing puppets. His creatures would have acted only while the attention of his will was upon them, and they would have shown no reluctance to execute any command of his, even if it were to destroy themselves. But the orcs were not of this kind. They were certainly dominated by their master, but his dominion was by fear, and they were aware of this fear and hated him. They were indeed so corrupted that they were pitiless, and there was no cruelty or wickedness that they would not commit. But this was the corruption of independent wills, and they took pleasure in their deeds. They were capable of acting on their own, doing evil deeds unbidden for their own sport, or if Morgoth and his agents were far away, they might neglect his commands. But even before this wickedness of Morgoth was suspected, the wise in the elder days taught always that the orcs were not made by Melkor, and therefore were not in their origin evil. They might have become irredeemable, at least by elves and men, but they remained within the law. That is, that though of necessity, being the fingers of the hand of Morgoth, they must be fought with the utmost severity, they must not be dealt with in their own terms of cruelty and treachery. Captives must not be tormented, not even to discover information for the defense of the homes of elves and men. If any orcs surrendered and asked for mercy, they must be granted it, even at a cost. This was the teaching of the wise, though in the horror of the war, it was not always heeded. Which, all in all, is incredibly fascinating, that Tolkien...
Okay, I want to see what the original writing was before it was edited by Christopher Tolkien.
True.
Because it said edited by Christopher Tolkien, and I'm like, well, we know what Christopher likes doing, so I want to see the original. His son.
Oh.
The rights of all the Lord of the Rings stuff went to his son.
So basically he's just using an alternate source. Well, if his son said it, that means it's totally canon by the guy.
Yeah. Devastator for 13 says, "Hey Lumi, mind if I come over to visit your server? I ask first."
The server invite is just discord.gg/lumlum. So LUM.
There you go.
Also, basically what that literal entire thing said was they were still kind of evil. It's just that they hated the fact that they were under the control of someone. Yeah, they might have been not evil in the beginning, but that doesn't change the fact that they're evil right now.
Yep.
Tolkien, a devout Catholic who was writing monstrous villains for a fantasy novel, couldn't help but think they weren't inherently evil because of the way he wrote them. In a story with a literal evil magical force, even he felt that after inadvertently giving them intelligence and emotion and thus sentience, they were closer to corrupted men than purely evil beasts. As Christina Fawcett writes in her analysis of Tolkien's morality, as figures of corruption, the orcs are opponents in an ideological battle. While other authors incorporate the idea of groups of goblins as warriors, Tolkien is the first to show the monster in the role of a soldier. The orcs have no choice in their role. They are captured, tortured, and changed. The orcs' actions are not excused by their history. They are still violent, vicious threats to the peace of Middle-earth. Yet knowing their origin does raise disquiet about the fight between the orcs and the other races of Middle-earth. Going back to free...
But it doesn't. Like, that's the thing that it's really throwing me off with his whole thing here. It's like, if they're not wholly evil, then you kind of feel bad about killing them, right? No, I don't. Because they're fighting for the force of evil and trying to ruin the world. I just...
He's also attributing, like, others' words to Tolkien, because he doesn't even bring up the fact that those were his son's words, not Tolkien's words.
Yeah. Or that this is like he mentions it, but like this is some random lady that's just like espousing on how she feels about Lord of the Rings. It's just weird.
It should be obvious from everything I've set up that we encounter the same dilemma.
Oh, it's obvious, is it? It's obvious that all of that applies to Frieren? Okay. My bad. It's just obvious, guys. It's obvious. Shut the fuck up. What?
Tolkien and the author of Frieren totally talked. They talked in a dream when like the author was like 5.
That Tolkien did. If demons are pure evil, they shouldn't really be sentient, and if the demons are sentient, they shouldn't be pure evil. However, demons and
But that comes from Tolkien's religious views. So this is something he probably wouldn't understand if he wasn't a part of religion, right? But basically, one of the big concepts, specifically among Christian theologies, is that if you have the capacity to think, then you have the capacity to accept God into your life. Ultimately.
Mhm.
Yeah.
That morality of Tolkien's comes from his Catholic upbringing. But not even everybody in Christianity necessarily believes that. And that has nothing to do with the demons in Frieren. In fact, we don't even know if the guy who wrote Frieren has like any religious backing to him.
Well, you see, in Japan, Catholic is a religion, and because he's Japanese, he must be Catholic.
But yeah, he's completely misunderstanding. Like, first off, 2 different sets of fiction. But second off, Tolkien's entire worldview comes from his religion. That doesn't necessarily apply to every person. Not everybody believes that because you are sentient, you must necessarily be capable of good.
Frieren are shown to be clearly sentient. They're easily more intelligent and inquisitive than even the orcs are. We've seen plenty of evidence of them showing emotion. You can make a strong argument that they express empathy too, and they have a clear-cut sense of morality. So if we handed Frieren to Tolkien and asked him to evaluate it, I strongly believe that he'd think the demons weren't worthy of mindlessly killing. They should have a soul, and any evilness on their part would be due to a conscious choice or corruption, which could always be reversed. Now, a lot of Tolkien's dilemma is based on his Catholic beliefs, his ideas about unambiguous good and evil, and the existence of a soul. But just to make things clear, even removing the concept of souls, religion, and definitive morality given by God entirely, which is pretty easy to do because Frieren is a bit more agnostic, the dilemma still applies.
But it doesn't!
Is it crazy, Phil? No,
his entire belief on morality comes strictly from his religion. And he included that in his universe, and he felt like that was a necessary inclusion to his universe. That doesn't apply to every universe it's made.
It is. Also, what is it? Someone said, is Christianity like a minor thing in Japan? Christianity is a minor thing in Japan, but being Catholic is like a big thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. In most Asian countries, yeah.
Means is more important here. Creatures who are sentient and intelligent and capable of morality are said to have a soul because that's what grants them higher consciousness. And any being with that must also have the other aspects of consciousness, the ability to reason, be self-aware, have free will. So removing the soul from the equation, the causes and effects remain. Orcs and demons are sentient, intelligent, and morally capable beings. Therefore, they must be capable of reason, self-awareness, and change. They can't be pure evil because they have the ability to choose not to be.
Oh, hold on a second.
He's forcing this so hard.
Kaiju in chat said, here's the problem with that. Demons have a soul. It's black. They never corrupted. They were always like this. It says so in the fucking manga.
Yeah. He's kind of just making this up as he goes along. He's like, well, if Tolkien thought his orcs could be redeemed, then the demons can be redeemed. No, it's different universes with different established lore.
Yep.
Already have their own system of morality. There's no reason they couldn't adopt another. Now, individual demons may still be evil, and many in the story are, but due to the nature of the dilemma, it shouldn't be the entire race by default. The demons that committed atrocities and participated in a violent war are not excused by the knowledge that they may have the ability to become good. The demons killed throughout the show are almost always instigators to conflict, after all, but it does raise disquiet about Frierin's intent to eradicate them. Anyway, it's time for manga spoilers.
Alright, so this is part 2 of his video. He actually has 3 parts. Part 1 is the dilemma of evil, so we finished that. Part 2 is it's just titled manga spoilers, okay. And part 3 is Twitter.
Twitter.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
I wonder if he's gonna feature those death threats that he said he got.
Please, no, what is it? That was after, though, right?
I feel like he's gonna bring up the one demon that is quote-unquote good in the manga, even though it's not good.
Listen, just share the Frieren demon memes.
Yep. We will give chat another 20 seconds to dip if they don't want to get spoiled by the manga.
Also, I will tell you, chat, that let me see if I can find it really quick. This video is a little over a year old. Like, by like a week. Oh my fucking, he did not. I'm gonna pull the actual video up over here really quick. My chat knows about this because I've talked about this before. Look at his recommended videos under this one. The Thermian Argument by Folding Ideas. So many chat, I'm telling you guys, so many people quote this dumbass video all the time. And it is horrendously stupid on in every sense of the word. And it's just some shit he made up and he pretended was real. And everybody ran with it to this day and act like it's an actual literary concept. And not something some douche on YouTube made up one day.
What?
The Thermian Argument basically says that nothing in a work of fiction exists in a vacuum. Therefore, everything within fiction can be used to judge the author's personal morality.
You know, I would agree with that if there weren't like several mangaka who weren't outed for crimes that had safer work series, but okay.
So his fake example is he's like, so I watched an anime called Orcs Ripping Apart Women, and in Orcs Ripping Apart Women, the orcs are inherently evil, and that's why they rip apart the women. And then he says this is a flawed concept for a show because it clearly the author is misogynistic and hates women, because why else would the orcs rip apart the women? And he says that a Thermian argument is when somebody uses the world of a fictional concept to defend something that happens within the world of the fictional concept. Such as, the orcs are evil, therefore they rip apart women.
Gosh.
Also, thank you, chat, for the 5 USD. Mizu, do you have an invite to your server? I do. Let me get it in a sec.
I just don't
I already
understand.
told him it's in the description of your stream.
I don't understand. Like, I gotta, like, bring it up, because, like, again, if that was the case, then the author of Act Age should just not, just get his job back.
I'm a fucking liar. That's for Under the Tea.
Here, I'll put mine in chat. I'll remember to edit my YouTube one soon. And Beardmaster for 5. The guy just tries so hard to shove his view of the world over the view of another author for his setting. He can't understand any view other than his own. Like, I'll pull up the Folding Ideas video after this chat because it's only 4 minutes. It's super short.
What is it? I'm sorry if like I'm interrupting. But it's
no,
like it's again, like if you've known like if you've been in the manga space for a while, you know about like stuff like Act Age, like other shonen that have been like fan service or no fan service. If that argument was true, then the author of Act Age should get his job back, because again, if you know what Act Age is, it's basically about a girl who was an actress or she wanted to get into acting. The art was good, and she was literally held in like the highest respect, and her youth and her issues were taken super seriously. That means that the author should get his job back because he portrayed a middle school character good, despite harassing middle schoolers in real life.
Anyways, we'll continue. But just so you know, chat, this video is a year old. So if a year ago you were caught up on the manga, you are fine.
From what we've seen of the demons in the show and what I've talked about so far, there are some serious questions raised, and the manga does directly try to answer these, and has an entire arc focused on the possibility of coexistence between humans and demons. And so now it's time to get into that. Spoiler alert, it doesn't go well. Now, the specific arc I'm talking about is the Golden City arc, or El Dorado as the most popular fan translation calls it. Leading into El Dorado, there are a couple of interesting interactions with the demons we see, most notably being another example of a demon asking a question about the meaning of something. This time why humans care about their dead, before getting dismissed again. This demon is actually a young child who is shown to be happy and energetic like a human kid, even when humans aren't around. And in an interaction that honestly surprised me, they kill a human, look to their superior with a smile on their face, and say, I did it, master, praise me, and then get cut in half. What the fuck? Why? They think the human is dead, clearly, but they're showing excitement and looking for praise from their superior? A demon, a creature described as this emotionless antisocial murder monster, is bursting at the seams with a desire for approval. It cares enough about this other demon that it wants them to praise them? What?
Or it knows that that's how humans act.
And guess what? There are exceptions.
Yeah.
This one just so happened to be hyper.
Also, don't forget, literally any younger creature of any species is always looking for approval from the elder.
Yeah.
So it's not out of the realm of possibilities.
Guys, Bambi is sentient because it was looking at his dad one day.
Anyways, we eventually get to El Dorado, and for anyone who hasn't read it, who skipped my spoiler warning, the basic premise is that a powerful demon, Mocked, one of the big boys in the Demon King's army, has turned a city to gold and has been sealed inside it by a magic barrier. Long story short, he was the advisor to a lord of a city who put a bracelet on him, ensuring that if he ever harbored any malice towards anyone in that city, he would die instantly. Yet, he turned the whole place to gold anyways. Curious. Short story long, we spend several chapters exploring Mock's memories, where
It's not curious, though. They don't hate humans. They kill humans because it's what they do. That's the entire point, is they have no emotion.
Not only that, but literally the page just says, literally spells it out for you. It's like they put on a bracelet in case they had malice, it would kill them. They don't know what that means. They just kill because that's what they know what to do. It literally says, we do not know what that means, so we're just gonna kill you.
Exactly. Tell them about per capita music.
we learn that demon
Oh, I know it's kind of a shit anime because after a while, like, it just starts looking like horrendous. But I'm always reminded of in Seven Deadly Sins, there's a part where a guy basically knocks everybody to the ground with his special ability. Anybody that like has malice towards him immediately gets knocked to the floor. But then Escanor just walks right up to his face and he's like, what the fuck? And he's like, you're so weak and you're so beneath me that I can't hate you. I can only pity you because you're so pathetic. He just like waltzes right up to his face. And he's like, yeah, bro, you're kind of a bitch. How can I hate somebody that's a bitch? It's fucking great. He then proceeds to like kill him with the sun or some shit.
I pity you. I pity the sun.
7Ds early on gets like really, really crazy, and then everything after it just looks like shit because I don't know, the animators gave up. Saying, you know, the people in the back
do not actually know what the concept of malice and guilt even are. Mox says he understands all the other emotions, fear, anger, sorrow. This is what helps confirm demons feel these things for real, by the way. But malice and guilt are just completely foreign to him, as they are to all demons. So Mox starts.
What?
Okay, hold on. Anger, fear, all that other shit. Those are baseline emotions that basically everything has.
And they have actions behind them, so of course you're going to assert certain act. You know what? I think this guy's just an idiot.
Also, chat says, no, it doesn't. He understands them. He doesn't feel them.
Yeah, because they're like literal physical emotions that you can see on people's faces. You know that thing demons like do so that they can trick people and then kill them?
Yeah.
Mox starts devoting his life to finding out how to feel them, because he considers himself a pacifist who just wants to coexist with humans. Yet, the way he tries to learn what emotions are is just by slaughtering villages and getting kids to kill each other in front of him. This eventually leads him to become the right-hand man of a corrupt lord, who becomes his best friend, since they both openly consider themselves evil and think they can learn from each other. And he serves this lord for many years. It takes 20 before someone even thinks to put that bracelet on him. But eventually, after feeling like he learned everything he could, Mocht turns the town and his best friend to gold anyways, just to see if he feels something. He doesn't. During this, it is explained by a demon that demons do not feel malice or guilt because they've evolved to hunt and kill humans. So killing humans is in their instinct, and feeling empathy isn't. Because if they felt bad for their prey, they would go extinct. And this is coupled with the idea of convergent evolution, that demons evolved to be similar to humans but are in fact so distant as to be alien to us. Just like how an orca and a shark might look and act similar even if one is a mammal and the other isn't. As they say, for a demon to try and understand human emotions would be like trying to understand the inner world.
I do like the idea that this fantasy world, where everything is like, you know, medieval times, technology-wise, has a really good grasp of orcas and sharks.
Yeah.
Very good marine biology division in your medieval fantasy city.
Listen, didn't you know? Didn't you listen? As you saw you saw the tests, you saw the trials. Don't you see the weekly tours of the whatever this world's equivalent of Antarctica is?
No, you don't get it. They obviously have their own Sea World.
Yeah. Sociopaths, despite not being able to feel certain emotions, can understand them. Exactly.
Workings of an ant. And because their primary instinct is to kill, to search for coexistence means to endanger humanity. The closer a demon gets to humans to learn more about them, the more of them they'll end up killing, because they just can't help it. Even
which he's done, by the way, wiped out entire villages and cities in his quest to be closer to humans.
And made kids kill each other.
Yeah.
Oct just destroyed an entire town on a whim. So at the end of the arc, when Frieren faces off against him, she tells him that even if it were possible for demons to learn to coexist, it would take so long and leave so many people dead that it wouldn't even be worth it to pursue. Frieren couldn't let it happen. It's effectively not an option. As she tells us, the Demon King himself wanted coexistence too, and that's what led to 1/3 of humanity being wiped out in the first place. So this changes basically our entire understanding of the demons. Now the question of evil is fully shifted from any kind of magic or divinity towards Essentially biological determinism, the idea that they're programmed to act this way and don't have any way of stopping it. Demons are born to hunt and kill, and it's so deeply ingrained in their alien nature that that's just how it is. They're not evil out of malice, just out of instinct. And I've seen people argue that morality shouldn't even be applied to the demons at all because of this, the idea being that a predator without empathy doesn't even know what they're doing is wrong, so they can't be evil. The specific line I've seen used being, they're like a house cat killing mice. But I'd just like to remind you, unlike a house cat or a tiger or a bear or whatever, demons are intelligent enough to understand how their actions affect people, and they already have an
No, they don't.
They don't.
They
This is like
specifically
someone who
said
gets,
they
like,
don't understand what mother and father means. They just know that for some reason it triggers something in humans to make them not want to kill them.
This is like somebody who like gets one of those like literal apex predators as babies and then raises them as pets. Like, no, I can domesticate them. They're different. And then you just find bones one day. Because they thought they were different. No, you were just stupid.
Yeah.
I mean, hell, even in that manga panel that he showed, like 3 seconds ago, the demon said, it looks like I made the wrong choice, instead of, oh, I did something wrong, didn't I?
Yeah.
It was a choice, not them feeling bad.
understanding of morality. That's the most important part here. They have a concept that you can do something wrong because that's how they view Freeren's trickery. They just don't understand that killing people is wrong. They do not lack morals, they just have a hard time adopting ours. Also, just because—
So it's hard, I have to just mention this to him. One of his biggest problems here is he misunderstood one panel and then proceeded to apply that misunderstanding to everything else. When your basis, like for your entire argument, is a misunderstanding, necessarily every single thing you say after it is going to be false. Because you didn't understand step one. It's like if you misread the first page of like a little Lego manual, right? And you built the first step wrong, the finished product is not going to look like the picture. Because you fucked up on step one, which meant every other step was a mistake, even if you technically did it right.
I've seen so much
I just
of it
think he's
online.
dumb.
Evil does not have anything to do with maliciousness. The fact that they feel no malice towards the people they kill means effectively nothing. By human standards, and the standards of the story, killing innocent people is morally reprehensible. It is an evil thing to do and to be okay with doing. The emotions you did or did not feel during, be damned. And they do it even though they don't have to. The story brings up multiple times that they don't need to eat humans to survive. Frieren even all but calls this an excuse when a demon says that's why they killed someone. Oh, and by the way, the manga does drop basically every other pretense that they're wild animals during this arc. I mean, throughout the whole thing, they're emotional and empathetic towards other demons, like, the entire time. Here's a demon being sad their friends are dead and helping another demon because he reminded her of them. Here's a demon saying they use fear to control other demons. Here's a demon doing a fucking yandere smile because they just love fighting so much. Mocked when he dies, goes and visits his best friend for no other reason than because he misses him. I'm just gonna stop considering this a point I even have to argue.
Pause this real quick? Alarms, go away.
That was perfect timing. Can you pause this real quick? Alarm goes off.
Everything it's like, again, the mimicry doesn't shut off just because they're not around people. And we're not going to use the guy who's literally an exception, by the way, as an example of like, oh, well, you see, there's exceptions, guys. They can feel, they have emotions. Yeah, let's coexist. And literally the 1/3 of humanity was wiped out.
Yeah.
Because it should be obvious by now. But as you might guess, even after changing our understanding, we haven't changed or solved the dilemma at all. Shifting the demons from the classic interpretation of evil beings created or corrupted by some dark force to what are essentially sociopaths with a serial killer gene doesn't change that they're beings who are told are wholly irredeemable because of this, even though they can think logically and understand morality and all that. We're just told that doesn't matter. They can't. Their intentions don't actually mean anything, because their nature is to be evil, and even if they try to overcome that, that will just result in them doing more evil. The story is still claiming every single demon is unworthy of mercy, and Frieren is in the right for wanting to eradicate them. She knew about the demon's desire for coexistence all along, after all. This isn't even a revelation for her. She doesn't care if there's a chance they might change. She wants them all dead before that can happen.
But that's not what she said, though, either. She didn't say, oh, there's a chance they might change, and I don't care about that. She said, yes, there's a chance you could change, but it would take so excessively long, and the pile of bodies would be so high, it's genuinely not worth it. Which is completely different between, there's a chance, I just don't want to take it.
There's also the fact that, yeah, the Demon King wanted coexistence. You know what happened when they coexisted? Literally a faction of them went to go wipe her village.
Yep.
And then Himmel's village. And then just a bunch of, pretty much most of the main characters' villages.
They just killed everybody's shit.
Yep.
So even if they're not the Demon King, they're just a bunch of them just go off on their own. Literally, Aura, while they were away, she literally just spent time building an army just to kill more people.
Also, thank you, Archmagos, for the 10. I'm judging him now. He took one class on philosophy and media. Now he's running around with tools he doesn't understand. He's a consequentialism. You would think an AI would love him. No, that's unironically an actual thing that I'll agree with, is some people will take like these classes on philosophy or literature, and they're like, okay, I've heard the words and I've heard the definitions. Now I can perfectly use them as much as I want. But, well, no, you can't. Like, there's a reason that so much in media is up to interpretation. Just because you think you have an answer doesn't necessarily mean you do. Don't worry about the repeated burned villages. They just needed to make peace after the 40th village. Yeah, think about the one exception we're talking about. Because realistically, in this arc, we are talking about one exception, which I would argue is not an exception. But we are talking about one exception. It's like, okay, so possibly, given enough time, this one exception could change. Are you still gonna let him live after he murdered entire cities and towns and forced children to kill each other for his education? Like, are you still just gonna let him off with that? It's like, oh, well, now he understands, and now he's gonna change. No, I'm still killing him! He's still dying! I don't know what you're talking about. He's still going.
Well, you see, Mizu, you don't understand. Don't worry, even though the 40th village, it didn't work, the 70th village, and the 100th village, and the 1000th village, you know what? The entire world, once the last human remains, I think we can coexist.
Yeah.
It'll eventually work itself out. Just gotta trust the process.
We also have to... Because this is the thing he ignores. Like, we're told right at the start that all demons lie to get what they want. We can't rule out the fact that his entire story is just a lie. His desire for coexistence is just some bullshit he made up to justify wiping out cities and villages.
Yeah.
So he could keep doing it and keep doing it and keep doing it.
Like, he has a new reason compared to most, but he still did it.
Yeah. But we can't rule out that the species of liars lied again.
And the story never elaborates on why this change is so difficult. It tells us it's difficult, that they just can't fathom empathy and not killing, and that they'd kill every human before they got anywhere, but it just defaults back to it being in their nature, which is apparently something they cannot overcome, even though humans and other races clearly can. Frieren's entire journey is about learning to connect with others emotionally, even though that's not in her nature as an elf. That's literally what the story is about, but with the demons, it just repeatedly says, it can't be done. That's just the way it is. And you'll never know why, because they're aliens, so we'll never understand them. And the
That's literally
strangest
not
part
what
of it
the.
all.
Can you like pause? That's literally not the reason why. The reason the demons exist in Freerun is to show what would happen if Freerun carried on the exact same way she did if she did not meet Himmel. She would have been exactly like them. She still would have killed the demons because obviously they killed their village. But if she had not connected with humans at all, she just also would have been an emotionless husk.
Yes.
The demons are supposed to be just the extreme version of that, of like the bad ending of what Freerun could be. And it's not like she hasn't tried before. She's done this multiple times in universe where she gave them a chance because somebody else was like, no, Freerun, let's give them a chance. And then she's like, all right, it's your funeral. And then it would literally cut to their funeral.
Yeah. Also, there's a difference between demons in Freerun are physically incapable of understanding, like, the sanctity of life, point blank none. Freerun and elves can understand the sanctity of life. They just have a much lower value on it because they do live so long. So, like, in a blink, the people they would normally care about or connect with are dead. Like, in a very minor section of their life, everybody they know has died because they were all humans.
And like, what is it? Like Sierra, Flame's teacher, she also understands that too. She doesn't show it, but she understands it, and she pretends not to. Like, she could end up like Sierra, but like, obviously Flame didn't want Freerun to be like Seer, which is why she's like, hey Freerun, I want to teach magic all over the kingdom so that even though you guys die, even though we die, you have more students so that you're not alone and so that you don't become husks. That's the whole point.
Kelpies not have cutie marks? I don't. Or maybe it's just it's under the jacket instead of on the flank. I don't know, I didn't think this all the way through. We just never did it.
The original sea ponies, they were just
oh yeah, sea ponies didn't really have a cutie mark.
They didn't have cutie marks, and in the movie, the others just got accessories that looked like their cutie marks, or like, you know, it was just not, it was mark. It was just showing, hey, look, it's still a pony.
I'll go back to the artist and ask them to put a womb tattoo on my flank.
Oh my god. What would be your mark? I have my cutie mark. Cutie mark is a wave.
Can you turn enough for them to see it?
What is it? Are you guys being nice to the brainlets? Was it someone said, are you being nice to the brainlets? No. No.
You should be able to see it a little bit.
Yeah,
it's like the wings block it.
Yeah.
The wings block it. You can see it a little better on my sea pony model, though.
Yeah.
Well, one of the most prominent themes throughout this arc, the one that Freerun herself faces, is the idea that nothing is impossible. It's a theme that exists throughout the story, but here they specifically focus on it. We see Freerun give up several times because she thinks something can't be done, and we see someone alongside her keep trying anyways, and through their efforts they convince Freerun that it's possible, so she does it. Nothing is impossible in this world, says the manga, while having a character find it impossible to overcome their nature, while Freerun says it is impossible for demons and humans to coexist without bloodshed. And while the story tells us it is impossible to understand the inner workings of the demons.
What would you do if the final chapter of Freerun, like the final overall chapter of the entire thing, was the author having Freerun meet an entire village of demons that are good, and then Freerun having to do this deep introspection about everybody she killed? And that's genuinely how the author ended it.
No, what I'd want the author to do is like just have Freerun do this giant like inner monologue, like, oh well, seems like they're living in peace and everything. You know what? Maybe I was wrong. Just sits there, thinks for a moment, then obliterates the entire place. She's like, nah, I changed her mind.
Also, that's not the theme of Freerun. The theme of Freerun is to connect with others and to like seize the day.
And to try and get laid.
Before like, like before it's too late. It's like the whole point. Again, the whole point of the demon's existence is like to like technically lure Frieren back to what she used to be, to take her time, to not understand humanity, to not care, to literally be a husk. It's not about the impossible, because Frieren is the strongest mage in existence.
Yeah.
Thank you for the 2 massive doge. It says Psych Zultrak.
I want her to unleash the magic equivalent of the atom bomb that we dropped.
That thing, I mean, wasn't that literally Aura's fight?
But yeah, no, he's like really going down like, oh, well, in this one scene, Himmel said it wasn't impossible and Frieren said it was, but they tried it and it wasn't. That means they could save the demons. No, you're a dumbass, no.
So by now, I hope you can understand the part of Frieren that has been stuck in my mind ever since I first watched it. By adopting the tropes of Tolkien's fantasy, the story also adopts his moral dilemma surrounding the villains, and it does seem very interested in exploring this. It goes into great detail trying to understand the demons, what makes them different, what makes them evil, but in its attempts to further explain everything, it just loops back around to the same simple answer it was trying to get away from. They're evil because they're demons.
The point of Frieren seems to be empathy for humans, not for demons. True, and that could also go to what he's labeling as nothing is impossible. A lot of it in Frieren comes off more like Frieren, and what I said earlier about elves probably putting a little bit less emphasis on human lives because they're short. And Frieren learning like more about the sanctity of like life in general. That she should continue to try to save more lives, even if necessarily she thinks it's like she can't or it's not worth it. Just because the character said it doesn't mean it's correct, even with the story's internal logic. That too. Every character has their own perspective, and you have to analyze what a character says from their perspective.
By being a demon, you are evil. Not because demons are corrupted by some magical force that makes them be that way, like in most fiction, but because they are controlled by some biological force that makes them be that way, which doesn't change anything. This, to me, makes the demons fundamentally no different than the orcs. Creatures the author wants to be pure evil because their role in the story is to antagonize and be killed, but creatures the author has accidentally given all of the components necessary to not be evil, which they have no real explanation for. So, in order to curb any hint of a dilemma, they give us an answer that can be best summarized as don't worry about it. Like, if we take a character like...
By the way, that's fine. Like, Tolkien got really hung up on that because he was super autistic about his world being perfect, which I do think is admirable. I'm not trashing him for that. But it's fine to just have something in your story be, don't think about it. Like, not everything in a story is going to 100% fit together perfectly. Because when a story gets a certain length, it becomes difficult to write new content for it and also have it perfectly fit with every single piece of content you've written before.
Sometimes the curtains are just blue, man.
Yeah. Sometimes the demons are just evil.
Ubel, someone shown in the story to be fine with killing pretty much anyone, who has killed a lot and doesn't feel bad about it, who explicitly uses charisma in combat to get an advantage, and we compared her to a demon who did pretty much all of the same stuff she did. Can you think of any reason given by the story why Ubel would deserve mercy and be allowed to live, and the demon would not, that does not boil down to because they're a demon? People...
Ubel doesn't just randomly slaughter people. She will literally like go after, like, what is it? She literally goes after other crazy people and will kill them, and then she will just move on about her day. Literally, one clip
She's
I saw.
She's kind of more like a Batman.
Yeah, like not
Very
even just
murderous
that.
Batman.
Like she is like what is it? Canonically, she is a psychopath. Like
Yeah.
literally, everybody is wondering. Like, man, I kind of think, man, why are we even letting her live? She technically should die. Like there are like multiple characters that say that, but it's the fact that she's not randomly coordinating our swaths and armies of people to go murder people.
Yeah. Also, to answer his question, no, there isn't a reason you would spare one and not the other. You would kill them both.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he tries to make it like, why would we spare a psychopathic human? Well, the answer is we wouldn't. We would just kill them both. Because a serial killer being human or demon doesn't really matter. They're still a serial killer. Dumbass.
People call Freeren's handling of the demons a sort of subversion of a subversion, taking the idea that many pieces of media take the evil fantasy race from Tolkien and do actually try to redeem them. So Frieren not redeeming them is subverting that. But the idea of subversion is that it should add an interesting element to explore, or take some idea and build on it in a way you weren't expecting. Yet Frieren's demons are doing the exact opposite. They are stripping away interesting ideas to revert them back to their simpler form. The show's most interesting exploration of the demons, I would argue, is the El Dorado arc, which is entirely focused on their inner workings, yet results in the same conclusion we had going into it. It asks a lot of interesting questions just to give answers we already knew. It wants its villains to be more compelling than Tolkien's orcs, while still having them be fundamentally the same at their very core. And this might be presumptuous.
I think this is a issue that's come up in media lately, and I think everybody knows like what gray morality is. How everywhere now wants their villain to have like some sort of gray morals, like some sort of good to them.
Yeah.
And it's done basically this, right? Where this guy is like, you can't have a complex villain unless that complexity is shades of gray. Like, you can't have an evil guy who does evil for evil reasons and make those evil reasons interesting. He just has to be, like, blanket evil, or if you're gonna make him complex, he has to be somewhat good. And they didn't do that for this. They made an evil guy, and they gave him a really interesting evil backstory. He's still wholly evil. He has done everything for the sake of evil, but he has done it in an interesting, convoluted way that makes it interesting to watch.
This brother would have a seizure if he saw Turbo from Wreck-It Ralph. Because, like, Turbo never changes. He just is like, I'm evil, and I want to be evil, and I'm still evil. I just took over this one game. I just changed my look. Oh, yeah, I'm still evil, and I tried to kill a little girl, and then I made her best friend almost watch her die.
Yeah. Also, chat has a good example. If the manga or anime had a demon that tried to kill the Demon King or died fighting demons to defend a random human town, then maybe the argument that demons aren't pure evil might have weight. Yeah, there's never a time where demons actually defend a human.
Of me to say, but a lot of my problems I have with Frieren are based on this same situation. The story taking a very simple idea, typically a trope from an earlier work like Tolkien's, and dressing it up as if it's going to be more complex, only for it not to be. Frieren is often praised for having better world building and setup than the typical fantasy isekai people
Can you
hate
pause
so
it
much.
real quick?
Yet from
I don't understand these people that always like, oh well, if you address a previous work, it has to be complex. Complex doesn't mean giving everything that has like more than like something that has like eyes pasted on it empathy. It's just expanding on an idea and then just like it's just expanding on an already existing idea further than it is. We have, again, swaths of isekai that already exist that make demons and demon kings and like demon waifus and all that stuff empathetic. And then Frieren, because it's popular anime, because you know it's because it's the popular anime right now, because Frieren chooses to not make them sympathetic, it's dressing it up as complex and not actually the other isekai that are out there. And you know good and well he would complain about that.
Yeah, and chat's right. Frieren is not an isekai, it's a fantasy. However, I do also have to complain, because I've heard this from people before, that Frieren has a better fantasy universe than a lot of isekai fantasy universes. A lot of isekai fantasy universes are really good, and people just intentionally pretend they're not, or they bring up examples of isekais where that's not the point. A good example is a lot of people will bring up Konosuba, and it's like, okay, but Konosuba's point is not lore building. It is a comedy road trip, basically.
Yeah.
But then they'll ignore stuff like Overlord. Overlord has like a ridiculous amount of lore building, to the point people get upset with it, because Einzelgon makes up like 1/16 of an actual season of Overlord, and everything else is world building everybody around him. Yeah, Tensei has really good one. So I'm a Spider, So What has a really good one. Admittedly, I've never watched ReZero because I don't give a shit, so I don't know.
Also, I know, chat, I know Frieren isn't an isekai. I was just using that as an example because, you know, isekai, because mostly harem, and not mostly harem, but you know what I mean. Basically, because that subgenre of fantasy already has, like, we have like swaths, series upon series, not even just in modern day, even in the 90s and stuff like that like made the demons empathetic. We've already had that for like years upon years upon years. Now we're doing one where they're not empathetic, and that's what makes it interesting, because sometimes it's really interesting, like creating a race that does not understand humanity but looks like humanity. That's an interesting concept. I think more series should do that. But no, because it's popular anime and it doesn't cater to my specific niche, and I don't really want to watch other anime that do cater to my niche, I'm gonna complain about it.
Yeah. But that's the thing, like, I always hate when people are like, oh, all the isekais are the same. They're the same in that a lot of them, for some reason, get really hung up on the fantasy settings specifically. Like, you never see an isekai where somebody gets transported to a cyberpunk dystopia or some shit.
True.
And it's just because, like, the fantasy setting is so separate from our modern world that that's just what a lot of people kind of want to go for. Granted, Tanya the Evil drops you into, like, fictional World War I Europe. But
not Germany. To be fair, the cyberpunk world does not have my elf girls.
Yes. But that's the thing, like, a lot of isekais do have really good world building. In fact, that's the reason a lot of authors use isekai as a tool. So the world can be explained to the main character, and there's an excuse for the main character to learn so much about the world. It's a crutch. Sometimes, I'll give you that. But it's specifically a crutch used for world building. I don't know who you're talking to that's like, oh, Frieren has better world building than all these isekais. Frieren has really good world building, but so do a lot of isekais. It's kind of their thing.
The Tolkien races to the demon villains to the magic association, it uses all of the same tropes to build its world. Frieren is even an overpowered and rather simple main character, like many anime are criticized for having, further made less interesting by virtue of the story continually proving her right about everything, especially regarding the demons. The story is also praised for not focusing on combat as much as your
Thank you for the 5, Toa. Now and then, here and there, post-apocalyptic isekai. Yeah, fair.
typical shonen battle formula, and for having an interesting use of magic. And yet, not only is it very combat-oriented, with an unironic Chunin exam battle royale and a straight-up assassination plot taking up a bulk of the story, but the combat, more often than not, devolves into something very similar to a shonen battle anime, just with magic as a substitute for a power system, spells substituting unique abilities. The very structure of the show is set up to be a subversion of your typical adventure story, taking place after the journey is already done. Yet the entire plot is still a major quest to reach the Demon King's castle that plays out and ramps up exactly like a traditional story would if they were on their way to defeat the Demon King, traveling to dangerous lands and defeating stronger and stronger enemies and taking time to stop major threats. It's not a journey beyond Journey's End, it's just another journey. Like I said in the beginning, I don't want to dislike Frieren. I think all of its ideas are right up my alley. Lord of the Rings is one of my favorite stories after all, but I think there's a big difference between The Lord of the Rings being a simple and straightforward story and not trying to be anything more than that, and Frieren wanting to do something different and interesting, but ultimately just wrapping back around to being simple and straightforward. Yet even still, after all of this, I have this inkling in the back of my mind, hoping that something is going to change. There are just so many direct contradictions the story has with itself that I can't imagine it isn't aware of them. A demon telling us they only use language to kill, with language. A character learning nothing.
I'm about to rock this guy's world with what magazine this is published in.
Also, like, it's such a contradiction that demons say they only use language to help kill humans while using language. That's not a contradiction. It was a manga. What the fuck did you want him to do? To, like, explain that concept to people?
Well, simple. They wanted them to use the demon language when they're in private, and they want them to use the English language when they're around people. How about we just don't do that, because doing that requires extra work, and if the author just doesn't want to do it, they just don't want to do it.
But Frieren isn't trying to be subversive. That's another thing, is he's trying to be like, oh, Frieren is trying to subvert all of these tropes. Like, where exactly?
It's literally published in a shonen magazine. It is in the magazine, full of tropes.
Yeah. Like, what are you talking about? It's trying to subvert all of this. Who said that? Where did anyone say that?
I also know what this guy's trying to, like, even if I, like, brought that up, he'd be like, demographic doesn't equal, like, gender and blah, 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 blah. Yeah, the magazine still expects certain things. You know why it's wrapping around to shonen things? Because it's published in a shonen magazine, and the shonen fans, the little boys that want to see this, want to read something cool and then discover the philosophy later, but they want to see the cute elf girl slay the Demon King. That's literally it. They just want to see cute elf girl slay Demon King.
He wants the demon to suck his dick. I guarantee he got to the scene with Aura, and he's like, I feel bad for her. That's why he hasn't actually showed much of her the entire time, because it upsets him to see her die. Tell me I'm wrong.
Just be like Kyle and just make a bunch of head jokes, bro.
Something is impossible, then telling us something is impossible. I want to believe that this is heading somewhere. Maybe because all of the demon biology lessons we're given come from the Demon King, who is obviously trying to understand why they are the way that they are. Not an entirely reliable source of info. Plus, and this is getting into a whole other arc, the Demon King basically had this right-hand man who could see the future, which is confirmed to be accurate. So this implies he definitely knew he was going to die, and it was somehow part of his plan, which is almost definitely going to come up later. In fact, the story not showing the Demon King at all is pretty convincing evidence that there's going to be a massive reveal about him that's going to shake things up. But it might not. The story might just keep on the path that it is clearly already treading. In fact, to say the
just for you, I hope the final chapter is just Frieren getting railed by Himmel. While Himmel the entire time says, you were so right, the demons are evil, we need to exterminate them all. We need to make 1 million Himmel Frieren children to fight all of the demons and kill all of them. Just for you, I hope that's the last chapter.
Oh my god.
Himmel's already a ghost. Exactly. They're gonna bring him back just so he can have 1,000,000 free run babies.
First off, Nimmo's already a ghost. That hasn't stopped this and this and that. It's not gonna stop the hentai artist already. You know that already. Listen, just pull the end of the lovely bones. Just have the girl possess another girl and slowly.
Oh my god, no! No! Shut up! No, you do not talk about the end of the lovely bones. Shut up!
You good, Kendra?
Thank you for reminding me about that. God.
What, you don't want the person that you like banging you in another chick's body?
No, shut up!
Also, massive doge for 2, hoping he doesn't mention Parthenax.
Demons weren't evil this late into the game would be difficult. Our main character is literally the Slayer. The story has been so complicit in this eradication of the demons that it would seriously color our perception of it if they changed that. They might still figure out some way to coexist with the demons in the future, but it would be a clusterfuck to change the past. So I understand that the story isn't over. This is the most recent chapter as of this recording. It could go in any direction after the video gets uploaded. But for the sake of the video, I'm going to assume the morality of the demons.
Really quick, he said the most recent chapter was 137. What are we at now?
Let's see.
Aaron Beyond Journey's End. Number of chapters.
I know it went on
He hasn't made it
recently.
much further since then. We are on 147.
Okay, that makes sense. He went on hiatus like shortly after the first season ended, likely to help work with season 2.
Yeah, so
hold
he's
on.
only made
However,
it like
the
15
manga
more.
is currently on an indefinite hiatus, so there's no new chapters for the foreseeable future.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, because chapter 147 concludes an arc. So he did reach a somewhat stopping point.
Isn't questioned any further. I hope it is. I hope I'm proven wrong from this point out and the video ages like milk or whatever, but I'm going to treat the story as if this is all the information we're going to get. The demons are evil, that's what the story is saying, because that's the context in which I want to get into this final part.
Now we're gonna whine
Here
about
we
people
go.
on Twitter.
Yay,
Here we
my
go.
favorite topic.
Let's go.
Hold on, before we continue, indefinite, no. Yes, it's due to the all too common problem of mangakas getting sick. Or their health deteriorating.
That and helping with sometimes, because like season 2 is coming out, I don't doubt he might pick up the series again, but usually it also is because they're working on the manga on top of working on the anime.
So is this guy a tourist? Here's the thing, because looking at his channel, it looks like he probably does watch a lot of anime. The problem is, he's an idiot. I think there's a difference between someone who's a moron, like this guy, and somebody who actively wants to damage the medium, like the person we covered last week. That just actively hates what it is and refuses to like it.
Sometimes
This guy
you
could
have-
be that, but I've never seen his other stuff.
Here's the thing. I've watched a lot of Anitubers like back in the day when they did philosophy reviews and stuff like that. There's a difference between analyzing a medium and you're genuinely like interested in the world and things they crafted, and then there's just being pretentious. This is just pretentious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's
Like,
see what Twitter
this is
has
literally
to say.
the curtains are blue.
You see, a while back, Freerin was trending on Twitter, and so I tweeted about pretty much what I've been talking about this whole time.
Freerin is such a funny show. It asks the audience to question the morality of the demons so many times it feels obvious they're going to subvert it, then pulls the rug out to start doing gray Gygax level biological determinism. Yeah, people made fun of your tweet because you sound like a retard.
I think he was trying to say Gary Gygax.
Yeah, Gary Gygax. I just looked him up. American game designer and author, best known for co-creating Dungeons and Dragons.
Yep. He is the father of Dungeons and Dragons.
Toa for 5, kind of worried what this guy's takes on Promised Neverland demons would be.
time. The demons in Frieren are shown to contradict their supposedly evil nature so much that I expected the story to subvert it, and I was disappointed when it didn't. I didn't bring up anything about Tolkien's dilemma, but I did reference the biological determinism in a way that I thought got the point across. And the reaction to this was intense. I've been the center of a couple of bad Twitter moments. I've had several viral tweets made specifically to try and dunk on me. I'm unlucky enough to have several accounts that just
I heard you slip in that try. No, people didn't try to dunk on you. They did dunk on you. Stop trying to slip in these like little weasel words like, oh, people tried to dunk on me. No, they did. And people resoundingly thought you were stupid.
And then proceeded to, again, beg everybody to please watch your video, bro. Watch my video, please.
obsessively post about everything I do. I don't really talk about it because it doesn't bother me, but I thought it was especially funny that this reaction to criticism about an anime promoting the value of friendship had people calling me more slurs than I've ever seen.
It's not promoting the value of friendship, really. Not fucking My Little Pony, bro.
Now, unfortunately, a lot of this comes from the discourse being poisoned. A while back, Starship Troopers, a similar story about mankind fighting alien.
No.
Wait, let's see where he goes with it.
Starship Trooper debate again.
Because I want to yell at this too if he doesn't
it.
understand. If he doesn't understand it.
I'm sick of this though. I already has to listen to it because of Arch. Because I have to be the emotional support fish. Not again.
Massive Doge for 2. You're getting called a slur, Samide. And Death for 10. Death 6227 for 10. Fluff question: what 20th century Cartoon Network show would you enjoy being isekai'd into? Depends if I am the main character or not. Because if I'm the main character, bro, I'm fucking Ben 10. I don't care what you say. I'm gonna be smashing alien puss all across the galaxy with that thing.
Gwen.
Yeah. And Gwen.
Alien bugs that are said to be evil on the story surface but shown to be more complex than that was trending on Twitter. And some very enlightened individuals decided to turn this into a political compass test, drawing a line in the sand and saying if you empathize with the bugs, you're on this side, if you want to kill them, you're on this side, which then expanded to any discussion of the morality of different races and creatures in media. And this makes sense. A lot of especially extreme ideologies already promote the eradication of groups you consider morally lesser than you outside of
Gosh.
Oh my god.
So for those of you who don't know, by the way, in Starship Troopers, the movie was intentionally meant to be fascist satire, like making fun of fascists. However, the reason nobody knows this is because the book put forth a very genuine concept of a future society with like the whole service equals citizenship thing that the author actually believed in. It was not a satire. It was just the system of government he believed was best, layered on top of his story about humans fighting giant evil alien space bugs. But the guy that made the movie, the director, really hated that. Absolutely despised that. And intentionally tried to turn the movie into a satire. Still failed, by the way, because A, the bugs are still evil. B, Doogie Howser is a psychic Nazi, and that's just based as fuck. And C, the universe is still good. Like, it's portrayed as unambiguously good, even though people are sent into the meat grinder to fight these bugs. Like, regular society is still like, oh, son, you shouldn't join the military. Just be like us. Don't have any voting rights and live in a giant fuck-off mansion. Because just because you can't vote doesn't mean you can't have a good fucking life on this planet. Also, Wolfsbane for 5. Starship Troopers mentioned, hey Mizu, can we watch it for movie night one day? I told people if we watch Starship Troopers, we have to watch both movies. You can't escape
Oh
the
my
second
God.
one.
But why can't we?
You have to watch both.
Oh,
They made a second one?
Yeah, there's a second Starship Troopers movie. It's kind of weird. I actually don't think it's as bad as other people think it is, but it's a lot slower paced. Those that defend the bugs in the movie, would a farmer wanting to kill wolves that keep killing his livestock be evil? Yeah. Like, the bugs are still unambiguously the bad guys in those movies. There's a third! When was there a third? I've only ever seen the second one. Here. Starship Troopers 3.
oh my God,
There
there
is a
was made
3.
in 2008.
Called Marauder.
Yep.
Yeah, I did not know that one. Okay, well, I guess
Maybe
we're gonna have to
they-
watch all 3 then.
Maybe if they put it in the title instead of just calling it Marauder, it's like,
No,
oh,
it's
like,
in the
I want to
title.
be-
Starship Troopers 3 Marauder.
Oh, I guess there was technically a Starship Troopers 4 called Invasion that was made in 2012.
Gee, wow, there is. It's actually rated higher than the 4th one. Or the
There's
3rd
a
one.
5th one!
There is not a 5th
called
one. You're
Traitors
lying.
of Mars, made in 2017.
Why is this a whole, like, franchise? Starship Troopers franchise.
Every director after every sequel, I'm doing my part.
I'm doing my part.
I will keep this franchise going. I will sacrifice 1,000 of these bugs if I can keep this franchise going.
So in
Okay, so I guess you're
1997, there's Starship Troopers. In 1988, a couple years before, there's an animated Starship Troopers. Followed by in 1999, another animated Starship Troopers called Roughnecks. Then there is a it says television film, which is Starship Troopers 2, Hero of the Federation. Then Starship Troopers 3, 4, and 5 are all direct-to-video.
That
Well,
sounds
looks
about
like
right.
you're watching all of them. You said you have to watch all of them. Yeah,
We do.
too.
And then there was a 1997 Starship Troopers pinball machine. Very important to the lore.
Well, now you got to play the pinball machine game somehow.
Gonna have to get like a fucking emulator for that.
It's like the,
Man,
it's the North
You
Star.
want to know what I'm sad about? Apparently, there's a new Berserk quote unquote game out, but it's just a pachinko machine.
You already know it's pachinko. Listen, you think you can get some good animation? Nah, it's the exclusive pachinko machine.
As soon as I seen the animation, I was just like, "This is pachinko, isn't it?" I look at the comments, pachinko. I'm like, I'm gonna have to go to Japan and play pachinko.
You want your
There is unironically, I know people hate it now because Guilty Gear is gay. There is unironically a conclusion to several people's stories in Guilty Gear on a pachinko machine.
Why is it always pachinko?
Madoka has a pachinko machine. Berserk has a pachinko machine. Fist of the North Star has a pachinko machine.
There are
Without the-
several video games in Japan that have conclusions to their stories or important side stories on pachinko machines.
It's so stupid. The Almighty Lolly's dying inside right now over that. Oh my god.
Evangelion has a pachinko machine. Strike Witches has a pachinko machine.
Silent Hill was stuck in pachinko machine hell for years.
Yeah.
Kaguya-sama has a pachinko machine.
Metal Gear has a pachinko machine.
Anyways,
Is
we're almost
this-
to the end of this, so we're seeing his Twitter reactions.
Don't worry, guys. We can go over the history of pachinko machines later.
That's gonna be a stream one day.
So
Oh
if you
my,
believe in
honestly,
one of those
that sounds like a cool stream.
Yeah.
ideologies,
We can go
Yeah,
over the history of
sounds like a
Japanese
cool stream.
pachinko machines and some
Well,
of like
not
the
even
weird
just
shit.
the history of, not even just the history of pachinko machines, just every single like TV series, anime, game that has important plots, only exclusive to pachinko machines.
well, you'd want to agree that the characters in Freerun or Starship Troopers should do just that, regardless of the facts of the story, which is why these stories have picked up rather large followings from these crowds. But unfortunately, this is just...
But no, it hurts my brain. Like, oh, they would have you believe the characters in those stories are wholly evil, even though the stories say otherwise. They don't say otherwise. The only time in Starship Troopers, even in the movie, which is trying to shit on the book, that it's implied the bugs are anything less than the aggressors, is when it's somewhat implied that maybe humanity is lying about how the bugs are getting from planet to planet, but the bugs still go to a planet and wipe out everything on it. Like, the only complexity they add there is maybe the government of humanity kind of sucks ass. But the bugs are still unambiguously evil, murderous creatures. And then in Freerun, there's just nothing in there that implies the demons are less than evil. It's stated directly. The closest you can get is Freerun saying, yeah, if I let you pile up, like, literally a planet's worth of bodies, maybe by the end of that you would understand empathy. That's not really helping your case there, bro.
Completely bulldozed any meaningful discussion on topics like this for a lot of people, since the desire to stick to a side for political reasons overrides everything else. When my tweet reached a wider audience that included people with these ideologies, they were never going to engage with the contents of the argument. They just wanted to represent their side of the aisle and performatively attack.
I fucking love this one with Aura and the other demon. Oh, look, here comes the far right. This one right here, like, this isn't the far right coming for you. This is people pointing out that you're stupid. No one forces you to identify with evil constantly. You choose to do this freely. You are. You are actively latching on to unambiguously evil races and trying to come up with excuses for why they're okay. Even though in the context of their stories, it specifically says, no, they're not okay. They are unambiguously evil, and you should hate them because they would want to kill you. You're so dumb.
But they smiled that one time, Mizu.
The other side, which is whatever. Again, I don't care about being called names. It's pretty easy to dismiss someone responding to your argument in this bad of faith,
but you're talking about it.
You have an entire set. How long is this? You spent over 10 minutes talking about how you don't care.
What really got me, what actually made me kind of upset, was just the surprising amount of people responding to my tweet by essentially saying, no, what are you talking about? The demons are unquestionably evil. Here's a panel where they say so. Here's the logic justifying their evilness. This was far and away the most common opinion I saw. The vast majority of the response to my tweet, outside of the bad faith insults, being disagreements with specifically my questioning of the story's logic. Like,
yeah, because you're wrong. You had a bunch of people saying, look, in the story itself, it says you're wrong. You are making an excuse where there is none.
But what if I'm right?
Like, me bringing up the contradictions was the worst thing I said, and this truly made me feel...
You didn't bring up contradictions. You made the one tweet. You have to, this was made before your video. So the only thing anyone saw from you is one tweet saying there are contradictions. Okay, well, that doesn't mean there are. That just means you're stupid.
Insane. Like, actually insane. Because after going through the whole story, these contradictions were so obvious to me, I didn't know how someone else wouldn't pick up on them. That's why I spent so much time in this video going through them. But more than that, I didn't understand why people thought these explanations invalidated my criticism. Let me explain. Here's a question. Why are the creatures in Freerun called demons? If you've even glanced over the anime,
because that's what we in the real world understand creatures that look like that to be, so it's simply a good name for them. Why is in every single universe the pointy-eared creatures always called elves? Because we as humans understand the concept of an elf.
You know, this video... Oh, sorry, you go. You finish.
I was gonna say the only time I could think of an example where this doesn't happen is The Walking Dead, where they refuse to use the word zombie, but everybody calls it a zombie show and everybody calls them zombies. And everybody acknowledges that calling them shamblers, walkers, and shit is really stupid. Just call them zombies.
And at least it makes sense in universe.
Yeah. But they're called demons because we as humans understand something that looks like that to be demons. It has nothing to do with necessarily the internal logic of the show. It's strictly a looks thing.
I'm just thinking this entire time, this video probably would have made sense if it was just about the Promised Neverland, because the Promised Neverland has those questions and then just never brings them up again. And it's like, why apply this to Freerun specifically?
Yeah. A show where it's specifically stated they are unambiguously evil and you shouldn't care.
Oh, I know why. It's because the Promised Neverland is no longer possible because its ending in the manga and in the anime was utter garbage. Yeah. So we're just going to complain about popular show.
Oh, that's another thing. Somebody says in chat, people don't care if Freerun is a good story. That's the other thing. Some plot contrivances people don't care about because it doesn't hurt the logic of the story. Because yes, even though Freerun does go around killing demons, and it is kind of like a big thing with her, with all demons need to die, it's not technically what's important for Freerun's story. It's just something cool she does as she goes around killing demons. It's not the core of who she is or the journey she is on to kill more demons. It's just a fact that she does.
Or manga, or just gotten this far into the video, it should be pretty obvious that there's actually two answers. The first answer is the in-universe one. We aren't actually given one, I believe, but you could easily say it stemmed from some word in this universe's historical language. Maybe it means man-eater in Elvish or something. I don't know. But the second reason, the out-of-universe one, is that demons in fiction, since the Bible, have been considered the most broadly recognized holy evil creature. So you call your creatures demons to denote that they're evil. These two types of answers to a question about a fictional space can be pretty much applied to anything. I just call them in-universe and out-of-universe, but another name I like is the Watsonian and the Doylist.
Fuck off. Fuck off. You are so up your own ass. Oh my god.
I'm telling you guys, chat, I'm telling you, there are two types of Anitubers. There's the ones that actually do a good job analyzing things. You know what? There's three. The ones that do a good job of analyzing things, the pretentious ones that are still good at analyzing things, is just that everyone makes fun of them. You already know who I'm talking about. And this guy, he's just flat out pretentious.
Thank you, Beardmaster, for the 5. Is he trying to give hipster answer? Does he think because a lot of people give the same reasons to why he's wrong, it must be invalid? That is also true. Everybody's telling me the same thing, so they all must be wrong. And then I'm sorry, I can't read your name very well. Jitzikima? Sorry, I really can't. Thank you for the 11, though. Something for the chip jar before I'm off to work. Have a great day, y'all. I hope you have a good day at work. Don't work too hard.
Yay for the chip jar!
Unless you really enjoy your job, then work as hard as you want, I guess.
See, look at that. Your shot collar is going to be paid for in no time. $198 including shipping if you decide to get your own custom leather strap with it.
You know,
yes, I memorized the price.
Ugh.
Because in Sherlock Holmes, written by Sir Arthur Conan Doyle,
you are so up your own ass. Holy shit. Is that why you went with these terms? Because of Sherlock Holmes?
Yes.
Oh, God, it hurts.
Dr. Watson is described as having a war wound that is sometimes shown to be in his shoulder, sometimes in his leg. The Watsonian answer, the one that Watson would give, is that he must simply have 2 wounds. The Doylist answer, or the one Sir Arthur Conan Doyle would give, is that he forgot where the wound was while writing. So, fun fact, if you ever wanted to know where the word orc came from, Tolkien, being the language nerd that he was, actually wrote extensive Watsonian answers about the history of the word in Middle-earth, and how it's pronounced in his different languages. But he also gave gave a rather blunt Doyleist answer. Orcs, the word is, as far as I am concerned, actually derived from Old English, orc meaning demon, but only because of its phonetic suitability. Now,
So what you're saying here is there is a out-of-universe explanation and an in-universe explanation, and you have overcomplicated this to Watsonian and Doyleist because of specifically just Sherlock Holmes and a plot hole in Sherlock Holmes where he just forgot where Watson had his wound at.
I mean, Mizu, you don't understand. He really needs to pad out this runtime for the video to be over 10 minutes long.
I mean,
It's not even the same thing either. It's in the Sherlock Holmes example, he just fucked up, made a mistake, and he had to come up with an in-universe explanation for it. In the Tolkien answer, it's, no, this is why Tolkien chose the word orc, and in-universe, this is his explanation for why they chose the word orc. Because he's super autistic and everything in his universe needs an explanation.
But if I over-explain it, I look smarter.
You know, if you over-explain it, that means people are just gonna get bored, they don't want to hear you anymore, and then they're like, meh, whatever.
Thank you, Devastator,
And
for
then
the
you'll-
5. He is crossing reality with fantasy. We know what that means, chat. Don't worry, we're getting really close to where he brings up Thermian argument, and if he brings it up at all, it's gotta be in here.
there's a bunch more terms and study around these, but really all you need to know is that for every question that comes up in a story, there's those two explanations. And which one of these is appropriate can largely depend on the type of question. Why a character made a stupid decision might be entirely explained by them having an impulsive personality, whereas why another character was killed off might be explained by the actor moving on to another project. But the key point here is explained. In-universe or out-of-universe explanations on their own do very little to actually defend the work from criticism. An actor moving on to another project doesn't make the character's death any more satisfying or coherent in the story. A character making a stupid decision because they were emotional doesn't make the stupid decision any less stupid. Explanations can only serve to smooth out the consistency of the world, but criticism often extends far beyond that. And this is especially
The thing is, if it has a valid explanation in universe, or even out of universe sometimes, your criticism is invalid. Like, if you complain that a character got killed off because, like, let's use Carrie Fisher, for example, who did not appear in the next Star Wars because she was dead. She actually physically died in the real world.
Yeah.
Your criticism of them being unable to use her between movies would be invalid because they didn't have a choice. She had died, they couldn't use her. So they had to like finagle some shit together to try and make the rest of the story make sense. And that's the best they could do. And it's kind of invalid to criticize that. In the same way, if there is a very well-grounded explanation for why a character made a stupid decision that we as watchers can determine was stupid, then it wasn't a stupid decision to them. And it's invalid to criticize that. Because what you're actually asking for is, I wanted them to make my decision, even if it goes against their character and the story itself. That's just poor writing. Like, you can't write creatively stuff that personally you would do every single time. Because then all of your characters just become you. And they just make you decisions, and nobody actually has a real personality anymore.
So rent a girlfriend.
Yeah. Like, what he is saying here is actively something that actively damages writing, and I don't know why he thinks it's so smart.
I think he just wants rent a girlfriend.
especially important to keep in mind when the criticism made is of some meta element of the text, and the response is to use the text to defend it. Because the Doyleist has power over the Watsonian.
Yep, he linked it in the top there, Thermian argument.
There you go.
But the Watsonian has little power over the Doyleist. The author is in complete control of this world and can override it in any way they want.
But it has to make sense. And with stuff like, specifically like Sherlock Holmes, because Sherlock Holmes had a ton of bugs. At some point, the author might make a mistake, and it might not be caught. Also, thank you for the 200 biddies. Hey, Puddle, here's a little help so Atari can get it in. Thank you, Gabby. But this is the same complaints I had with like the Thermian argument video. Is no, you have to use the in-universe explanations when you set up the universe. Can't just suddenly contradict your own universe because you don't like how that's gonna make the plot go. Because then you're just writing a contrived, shitty story.
And people will be vocal about it.
Yeah. And that's why the Thermian argument that he's trying to cite is so garbage, because it basically says authors should write contrived, shitty stories, because if not, then we'll criticize it for not being accurate to what I want. And I hate it.
It's not real, so they may choose to make decisions that best suit the pre-existing logic of the universe, but ultimately, they can make the logic of the universe anything they please at any time. And if you've ever heard of what a retcon is, you've seen a common example of the many ways an author can
But retcons aren't good. Retcons are actively bad things. Why are you being a proponent for retcons?
Because Mizu. I don't know.
Good night, Gabby, by the way. I hope you have good sleep.
bend that logic to fit their will. Getting back on topic, something you have to understand is that Tolkien's dilemma wasn't one of internal consistency, that the orcs weren't 100% following the logic of his world. He had complete control over that, after all. He could just change the way the world works. Morgoth.
You know, part of me thinks that he really wanted to make a Lord of the Rings video, but didn't want to get torn apart by Lord of the Rings fans, and just using Freerin as a ploy to just be like, yeah, this is totally about Freerin.
Yeah. Also, his argument isn't making any sense. He's like, well, he could just retcon it. He could if he was still writing the book. Now the book is out in the world. So anything he does do is going to be a retcon, and then he's going to have to explain why that retcon happened.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what, that's what he's not getting about what Tolkien was really struggling with the orc question, was he didn't want to retcon his world. He needed to come up with an explanation that fit within the lore of his universe, so he didn't break it. For his, own personal satisfaction of having everything be consistent. And yes, chat, he is being an advocate for retcons, even though we all acknowledge retcons are bad things. I don't know why anyone who purports to, have media literacy would advocate for retcons. So stupid.
Remember, Mizu, he's not being owned. He's not being owned. He's not being owned. He said is he sees
Brings into a corn cob.
Is just able to create creatures with souls who are irredeemably evil. Boom, solved. No, his dilemma stemmed from asking why he would write a universe with that logic in the first place. That's why even his multiple different backstories didn't fix.
That is not his question. His question was his universe was already written with that logic taken off the table as an option. So if he retconned the orcs to both have souls and be universally evil, he would collapse the entire canon of his universe's version of good and evil. He could not just mindlessly retcon it like you want him to. Because then the entire universe breaks, and now he has to fix everything else from the ground up. This is such a stupid way to write things, and it's so, just anti-intellectual, and I hate saying that because it makes me sound smug and stuck up, but it is.
It's honestly, I want to see what this man's version of the perfect book, the perfect storytelling is. Because it's pointless to say, oh, well, this is a really good story, but these teeny tiny little things, that's what bothers me. Show me an author that just did absolutely perfect with their story with no plot holes, no nothing.
Yeah.
He probably has a similar opinion to Jello Apocalypse, if you know his story writing.
And ultimately, Tolkien did probably the best he could in saying, yes, they are still, they're just so bad that we can't really think about this in universe. Because it just poses too much of a threat to everything else. And you know what, to a degree, Freerin sort of did that too. Where Freerin says, yeah, maybe one day you could be good, but it would pose such a threat to the world we live in that I can't allow that. I can't wait for that time. It's a perfectly fine explanation.
Anything.
On
His
it-
potential changes.
Oh, sorry, what was that?
Honestly, it's like I think people just overanalyze things now. Can we just enjoy something? Just shut off our brain, enjoy thing without people just being like, "Oh, well, actually." It's like shut the fuck up, please.
No, they can do that. It's just that if you're gonna overanalyze something, at least overanalyze something and have the overanalyzation of that particular thing make sense. Because if this was about like, because again, I've seen like some people who did like over-analysis on Freerun and stuff like that, and it explained the deeper meaning. Those reviews were also good. This isn't good. This is just bad.
Yeah.
Always clashed with his real-life religious views, his real-life morality, and so they clashed with the themes of his story being about overcoming evil and the possibility of redemption. My criticisms of Freerun flow in this same way. I focused on the contradictions of the text as
See, though, it's okay for Tolkien to have that criticism because it's his book. It's like that. It sounds dumb to say, but it's genuinely not okay for you to have this criticism because it's not your story, and you don't get to determine how that story is written. It was okay for Tolkien to do it because it was his own book. So he was able to be like, well, I don't really like the morality of my world as it stands, and I think I could make it better.
What is it? Somebody also said technically Goku, because people were also talking about Goku in the comment section. Goku was never really retconned to be an alien in the first place. It's just that because he had no backstory, Toriyama was able to write a backstory. And even with the backstory that we have now, you constantly see in the Dragon Ball community people arguing if like the whole Bardock thing is a retcon or not. Because people don't like the fact that Goku was not a baby, or Goku was aware and conscious, or Bardock was kinder, because people like hook on to what came first, the Bardock movie, which is objectively non-canon, even though there are canon elements. It's like if Tolkien never wrote an origin for the orcs, he could actually come up with an explanation, but he did, and any type of change to that just breaks the logic of the story. That's it. That's the reason why people don't like Dragon Ball Minus, because again, it breaks their already perceived perception of like who Goku and Bardock and all these characters are, all that type of stuff.
I just realized my ears are tied to my eyebrows.
Yes, they are.
Thank you.
obvious points of contention, places where the story tells us one thing and shows another, that's easy. But my core issue with the demons being irredeemably evil is larger than the consistency of the story's logic, because the morality, themes, and ideals of a story exist outside of that. You can smooth out the logic of the world as much as you want, explain why the demons are the way that they are as definitively as you can, but doing so does not change or justify what a world created to be like that is promoting. What its logic is telling the audience it values, or if a story with that logic is even good in the first place. The story of Frieren is ultimately one about empathy and learning to appreciate and understand others, especially those you might consider lesser, most prominently shown through Frieren's greater power and lifespan than all of the other characters she grows fond of. And yet, through its own logic, the story proudly says that some beings are just wholly undeserving of empathy entirely.
That's called a foil. That's a literary device where there's an opposite to the main character that challenges their conceptions of the world or reinforces them. He's just if it's okay for Frieren to learn, the demons have to be able to learn. No, because the demons are a literary device. And somebody that has so much media literacy should know that the demons, in their current form, are a literary device for Frieren herself.
Like, pretty much everyone said that they're supposed to show what happens if Frieren doesn't seize the day, and if she doesn't learn from the mistakes of her past. She can still slaughter the demons.
Yeah.
And still be like, I don't care about humanity. The whole point of the story is she's still gonna slaughter the demons, and she learns more about humanity.
Exactly.
not for any specific actions they might take, but just on the basis of their existence. They are, in fact, lesser. Friren's journey is one about seeing how others around her benefit her life and have their own complete and complex experiences that are just as valuable as her own. And yet, through its own logic, the story says that the experiences of some beings are just completely worthless, by virtue of them being born as something that can only cause harm. A story about how anyone can overcome their own limitations, even those imposed by the nature of their birth, and how they can always achieve the impossible, repeatedly shows us characters that it says will never do so, no matter how hard they try.
Because they're foils. They make sense from a literary perspective, they make sense from the universe's inbuilt, like, logic. There is no reason for you to complain about this unless you genuinely do not understand writing tropes. Or if you're like the people on Twitter and you really want the demons to be minorities for some reason.
It's like again, like the reason why they're like as you said, they're foils to Frieren is, yeah, they are destructive when they try and learn, and when they're not trying to learn, they don't care. They just want to kill because they want to, because that's literally in their nature. And forget about it. Forget about their nature. They just want to kill. That's literally it. They're literally like, I just want to kill. Like, again, Aura literally made an entire army. She didn't have to make an army. She just made an army because she could. She's like, I want to kill, and I'm okay with that.
Exactly. He doesn't know what he's oh.
And that really sucks. Now, and you might honestly just choose not to believe me, but despite the confrontational nature of a video like this, I don't really have any problem with people disagreeing with me about my criticisms of Frieren and the demons.
Yes, you do. You've already established that both people who had genuine disagreement with you and people that had quote-unquote ideological disagreement with you were both wrong and both upset you.
Not only that, this is an anime from Japan. This isn't like this isn't Mein Kampf. This isn't something that's to be analyzed and dissected. This is an anime about an elf girl, a race that don't exist. Now you can appreciate what the story's trying to say, but this is literally just a series from Japan, bro. This is not like base literature.
Why was your version of base literature Mein Kampf? You couldn't have chose like any other book, like Catcher in the Rye or some shit. Why Mein Kampf? Like, what about the Great Gatsby?
Well, you see,
Romeo and Juliet. Like, there were a lot of options there.
I mean, usually the first book people name when it comes to, like, you know, bringing stuff up is the one they most recently read. So Kendra, have you recently read Mein Kampf?
No, I've been reading Chainsaw Man. Maybe that's why. Maybe Denji.
Basically the same thing at this point.
Yeah, chat has it right. War and Peace, To Kill a Mockingbird.
Yeah, War and Peace.
Like, there were lots of options there.
You know what? Whenever I see the book name War and Peace, I just think of the character War and Peace from Sky High.
Of Mice and Men. Thank you, chat.
Brave
New World. Lots of options.
You could even say Twilight.
I'm not gonna lie, the first thing I was gonna say is you could have said something like Twilight when I started this like diatribe, but I was like, no, let's go with something I remember from school.
Or maybe, you know, everyone's critically acclaimed New York's bestseller, Metamorphosis.
If they could get away with it, you know good and well they actually would be able to sell that. Just remove all the manga and just turn it into just Wattpad fanfic writing, and then it's like, it's the same, bro. It's the same. Kaiser Kendra.
Did you hear that the CSM mangaka is getting harassed because he watches porn?
Yeah.
I did. It's actually funny.
I'm reading Chainsaw Man now. I'm like 40 chapters in. I'm like, you guys are shocked about what? I'm like a newcomer to all this, and it is very clear that this man is open about his fetishes.
Oh yeah.
I mean, what? I mean, you weren't shocked to know that this dude is into BDSM porn?
Exactly.
Quite literally, Makima's like, "You're my dog. You're my dog." It's like, like I said this one time, like Makima's trait is normal. Well, normal according to the universe of Chainsaw Man, but it's like this is clearly like Fujimoto's type of girl.
Oh, 100%. Anyways, we're almost done. We're close.
I understand that I have a very controversial opinion here, and I by no means
you're wrong.
consider my position to be unassailable. But what I do have a problem with, and what honestly makes me more than a little mad, is people trying to dismiss my criticism solely by repeating the logic of the thing I'm criticizing. The values promoted by the logic of the narrative can still fundamentally be at odds with the values the narrative itself is trying to promote, even in a perfectly consistent world. Because unlike real life, a story's logic is just created by an author. It isn't absolute. And showing me a panel where the characters explain that this is how the world works does nothing to address that. So, as it stands, the way demons in Frieren are handled is very strange. And I think a lot of my issues with the show can be tied into my issue with the demons, because ultimately, I think they stem from the same place. I also think exploring this dilemma I've talked about serves a very important lesson about how to write and engage with morality. And I think a lot of people should take it as a lesson on how to engage with criticism, because in both cases, there's a lot of danger in relying on the ideas of others. Thanks for watching.
That was garbage.
I hated every moment of the video.
So I think you should learn how to deal with criticism, because literally everybody told you were wrong. And I'm not saying that means everybody else is right. Sometimes everybody else isn't right. But instead of even remotely trying to re-examine your viewpoint, and you said this in this video, you said, no, I must make an entire 1-hour video telling them how wrong they are. Instead of sitting down and being like, maybe I should reanalyze this and rethink what I was saying. Such an idiot. Is it all just... Yeah, it's just all... Are these all, like, Patreon support? Oh, no, his Patreon supporters on the side, and then I think maybe something from... I don't know what this is from. It's from Tolkien. Of course it's from Tolkien.
Yeah.
He really did just want to make a Lord of the Rings video.
Again, bro, just go read The Promised Neverland. That's exactly what you want to read. Promised Neverland, Tokyo Ghoul. There's like 50 other stories.
All right, chat. We're gonna get a double feature tonight because I think I'm the only one here who's ever actually seen this video. It's only 4 minutes, but trust me when I say every single lefty Anituber on this website has watched this video and taken it to heart. They might not all directly mention it, but every single one of them has watched it and taken it to heart. So you have to keep this in mind when you see how they analyze anime. By the way, this video is like 14 years old. It's like old as shit.
You know what?
Before we start, here's a pop quiz. How do you kill a vampire? Sunlight, stake to the heart, holy water, fire, decapitation, silver bullet? Write your answer down and we'll come back to it later. So previously we talked about the diegesis and the attendant mental construct, the fiction space alternate universe that stories exist in inside our heads. Today we're going to talk about boundaries. Specifically we're going to be talking about diegetic justification for creepy garbage and how terrible and flawed it is as an argument. So there's a bad habit that people have gotten into. It's nothing new, but it's becoming more and more common, and it goes like this. Hello, this is Folding Ideas. I recently watched the anime Women Getting Ripped Apart by Orcs and was, disturbed by the seeming perverse glee the show takes in the way it frames the frequent and excessive dismemberment of its female cast members. In fact, the entire purpose of the show seems to be little more than showing women being brutally violated by orcs. Minor characters with little plot significance are often subjected to 2 or 3 minute sequences that focus an almost pornographic lens on their suffering and the enjoyment the orcs take in the process.
Dan Olsen is wrong to complain. If he thinks this is a big deal, then he clearly wasn't paying attention. The orcs were created by the Dread God who hates all light. The Dread God wanted an army that would rape and shred its way across the land of Thule. So the orcs aren't just violent for no reason. They are compelled to be violent. It all makes sense if you were paying attention to the backstory.
This has become a pretty familiar exchange over the last few years, and the base components are this. 1. Some element of a movie, anime, or video game is criticized, usually for racism or sexism. 2. Fans defend it by citing in-universe reasons for why the world of the text is the way that it is. Here's the problem. Fictional worlds aren't real, and are eternally mutable by creators.
So this is where... this is an argument that literally everybody thinks back to. All of these like lefty anime creators all think this is the world's most ingenious argument ever devised.
Okay, I would love to see this dude's entire breakdown of the story of Berserk.
As I keep back.
Is Kendra muted? No, I'm not muted. I'm just shocked by how stupid this is.
But yes, he's
Kendra
saying
shocked
that
into silence.
you should be able to criticize a media, the internal logic for a media, because you don't like its external like meaning behind it. But the problem is once you start really mixing the internal and the external of a media, it gets really fucking confusing and it suddenly doesn't make any sense, right? Because think about, we talked about earlier, the Starship Troopers. Under this reasoning, it is unironically a fair criticism of the Starship Troopers movies to say, what doesn't make any sense how they can breathe on a foreign planet because there's no like fauna there. There would be no oxygen. And it's like, okay, well, in the logic of the movie, that planet just has oxygen because of some bullshit with the bugs and underground and whatever. And it'd be like, okay, well, that's not how it works in real life. So, like, why are you just defending, like, this clearly flawed movie with this flawed retort that doesn't make any sense in real life? It devolves every argument into that.
And it doesn't make sense because if that's the case, then so many authors who did safer work stuff shouldn't be getting weird looks and getting arrested because they end up being found out for having creepy crap on their hard drive. Look at the creator of Mighty Magiswords. Brother was going around moral policing everybody, even actual like victims and stuff was found with terabytes of creepy material.
Also, notice that he said usually racism and sexism. They will never use this argument to complain about like the logistics of a world. They will only ever use it to complain about the morality of a world.
The author of Rurouni Kenshin's world was about morality.
Yeah. Isn't this the CP spam dude? It is.
That literally does not narrow it down, bro.
So this
CP
guy...
spam dude.
This guy got really mad at a 4chan knockoff site called 8chan. And to prove that 8chan was filled with bad people, he went to the 8chan lolicon board and just started spamming actual CP all over it.
What?
Nobody knows where he got it from. But he then took a picture of it and then posted it online and was like, see, there's this CP all over the board that proves that they're okay with it. And then they had to come out and be like, that is from your account. You made an account and posted all of this, and we deleted it literally like 10 seconds after you posted it. Because we had very active moderators. Everybody skips over that part of this guy's history. And they just kind of like, oh yeah, no, we don't have to talk about that. We just, he makes good videos, you know. Even though he doesn't. His videos are garbage.
Wait, who? Like, who did that?
His YouTube name is Folding Ideas. I think his actual name on the channel is like Dan Olsen or something. Somebody in chat can correct me if I'm wrong on that one. Because I don't want like some random guy getting hate. Yeah, it's Dan Olsen. If you search Dan Olsen, first thing that pops up is Folding Ideas.
Some of these people are so weird. Remember, guys, these are the people who are telling you that free rent has a moral problem.
An excuse to say everything can only exist in a real context and not in a story context. These people wish for all mankind to devolve into unimaginative, cowardly wretches. Yes, basically. And you have to think, this guy's Thermian argument thing he comes up here is used by every single, like, lefty media critic online. Every single one of them fell for this, like, gambit and use it all the time. And once you know what the Thermian argument is, you will start seeing it everywhere in these criticism videos.
They're eternally mutable by creators. They are the sum of a giant pile of creative decisions made by 1, 2, a dozen, 100 different individuals who took it from blank page to finished product. The only reason anything is the way that it is because a writer chose to make it that way. The diegetic argument aims to dismiss criticism at its core, suggesting that there aren't any problems with the text, provided controversial elements are internally consistent with the rest of the story world. In slang terms, this can be referred to as the Thermian argument. In the sci-fi classic Galaxy Quest...
By the way, he doesn't mention this. He invented this argument. Before his video, this is not anywhere on the internet that I can find, and it's not in any textbook. And he says it as if this is just like a concept that he learned about that has been consistent media criticism for years. But his video is ground zero for this word even existing.
Yeah, first off, the fact that he said slang term, and it's like, sure, buddy.
The Thermians don't understand fiction as a concept. It doesn't exist in their language, and thus they see all texts as historical documents. While not identical, the root figure of thought is similar here. The diegesis is given primacy over the text as a cultural product. The exact rationale behind a Thermian argument may even end up being contradictory from one case to another. One medieval game with dragons and magic, but no one with brown skin, is fine as is because historical accuracy. In a different medieval game, a character wears a chainmail bikini to a war zone because it's just a fantasy and that's just how her tribe dresses. You cannot criticize the world because that's just the way the world is. This is a deeply flawed argument because, once again, fictional worlds aren't real and are eternally mutable by creators. None of it actually exists. The only part that does exist is the finished text and the idea that it represents. So let's go back to the quiz. How do you kill a vampire? It doesn't matter what you wrote, the answer is irrelevant. Vampires aren't real. While the rules for how to kill a vampire may be codified within any given game, movie, book, or show, nothing exists to enforce the rules of a fictional space. Writers routinely alter.
Yeah, so you can see like where the problems really hard start to show. With, well, it's all fake, so it all needs to be backed up by something real. And it's like that just sounds absolutely horrendous and ridiculous.
You know, it's really funny he brings up the bikini argument because literally Nikkei just posted a new girl just like today and she's literally just in like nylons. She's just in nylons.
Let me enjoy my battle-ready bikini. Goddamn.
What is it? Did you see it? I can like go find it and post it in the server.
You know, you could
I see it there, but
I haven't
yes,
seen it.
Go ahead and share.
It's literally just nylons. It's like, guys, I'm pretty sure they just made it just because they thought it was hot. That's literally it. You don't need to go on this diatribe and be like, oh, we have to come up with logic and blah, 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 blah. No, they just wanted to put her in nylons.
Yep.
Alter the rules to suit their interests and the needs of their story. So, in the world outside the diegesis, in our world, only the implications and impact of that fiction actually matter. That's why this type of dismissal, using a diegetic justification to nullify criticism, is ultimately a chump argument. Unlike world history, where there is a theoretical objective truth that we can seek to better and more accurately represent, fictional worlds are fiction. There is no truth to move towards. Arguments for purity or consistency miss the point entirely. The Thermian argument, therefore, serves only to shut down discussion. Criticism of a creative work is ultimately criticism of the decisions that people made when they were putting it together. And that's where we're going to leave things for today. Now, go in peace, my children, in the name of like, share, and subscribe. Amen.
There you go.
Shut up, I hate you.
Like, share, and subscribe my video chat, not these ones.
It's like I would love for authors to just like make a post, make a statement. I'm like, oh, why is it like this? And someone just says, because I said so. That's it. Nothing further, just because I said so.
Which is a fair
be fair,
point.
That's what the author of Tokyo Ghoul did when people got mad that he didn't ship Kaneki and the best friend character, and and people were burning books and being like, "What? You should have shipped them! I'm so mad at you!" And he literally just started blocking people.
His argument utterly completely falls apart in the face of the Toho fandom.
What is it? I just posted the Nikkei skin in the chat.
I could look at it. I'm not pulling it up on stream.
Yeah.
I'm not getting in trouble for that.
Hot. Nylon.
When has Nikkei not gotten someone in trouble?
Oh, I definitely would.
Like, some people just do it just because they think it's hot or it's cool or whatever. It doesn't matter if somebody can't shoot plasma beams from their hand like Dragon Ball. It looks cool, so we're just gonna do it because it looks cool. That's it. That's the literal logic of why people make a story, because it looks cool. Or it's an interesting subject to make, or blah, blah, blah. If everybody was beholden to everybody who did a story and they had to appeal to the logic of the world, we wouldn't have Chainsaw Man.
So, down in the comments of his video, not the Thermian argument video, the original video we covered, one of the top comments is, it really isn't that complicated or even a dilemma. The claim that they mimic likely just makes it easier to ignore them, because they do indeed use empathy of their prey to strike. Therefore, even if their emotions are legitimate, paying them heed will only lead to destruction. Curiosity also doesn't imply a positive. The predator expressing curiosity about its prey is most likely looking for a better understanding of how to hunt. And he replies, no, it is. None of this is even addressing the point. But you're right that them being mimics makes it easier to dismiss/ignore the contradiction. If their emotions are legitimate, they can't be deception. Which...
This is the guy who would get hunted in the Freerit village, I'm sorry.
We are told they are deception. That is a contradiction. If they're expressing curiosity about hunting, the other demons wouldn't dismiss all of their questions with who knows, because that would still be a contradiction. It's not just pure curiosity, it's an explicit desire for more knowledge. And the first guy replies back to him, the emotions they feel and the emotions they express can be two different things. Dismissal of who knows can be addressed by simply a difference in curiosity. Of course, I'm also biased in this argument because attempting to humanize the human-eating monsters is also where Promised Neverland stumbled and fell in the final act. And he replies, we literally see into a demon's memories, and that they express and understand emotions in a scenario where they do not think anyone is observing them. Demons show many emotions when nobody is around, as I point out. So again, their internal and external emotions are the same. Calling this deception is incorrect, when there's fundamentally no difference between the deceptive emotion and the real emotions they're feeling. Who knows means they specifically do not know the answer. The question was about the meaning of the word deceive. They do know that. They just use the word to deceive. Saying who knows is still a contradiction if this is the case. Them having less curiosity is obviously why they dismiss it. If I never say otherwise, but the question being asked is the point. And dehumanizing the sentient species is where Freerin is currently stumbling through the entire story, so I understand your frustration.
He keeps talking, and yet I don't register a single word.
It's a lot of words to say nothing.
Exactly. Also, thank you, Beardman, for the 5. They would never complain about the logistics of a world, because if they did, they would stop being communist, since it's also a fantasy. I do like that his first reply to this commenter, giving him a real answer, is No, it is. None of this is addressing my point. Okay, buddy. Alright.
You know, this video just made me want to go to bed. But I just have to stay up for a few more hours.
Dang, this video was so exhausting it put Lumi to sleep.
The number of likes on that comment is 2.6 thousand, and his reply to it got 200. There's another comment saying something similar that got almost 3,000, and his reply to it got about 300. Another person for about 1,000 says, I don't get it, why something sentient can't be pure evil. His reply got about 200. To be pure evil means you can't ever be good. To have intelligent morality, emotion, and the free will that comes with that means being able to choose to be good. Demons can still choose to be evil, many do, but the entire species cannot be treated as evil if they have a choice.
Yeah, that's why Freeman says they're beast. And beasts are, while not inherently evil, still eat people.
Don't wild beasts also feel emotions and sorrow over dead pack members? They are still animals. He replies, wild beasts are not intelligent and able to communicate with other species. Wild beasts do not understand human morality or strictly adhere to their own. Wild beasts do not possess the components necessary to adopt human morals. Demons, as I argue in the video, do. They are incomparable to animals.
But okay, hold on. So he's saying that because animals can't understand other species, it means they have no morality, but humans can only understand other humans. We can't understand what, like, cats are saying. We can guess based off of, like, you know, body language and stuff. That's how we manage to domesticate animals, but we can't understand them.
He also says beasts aren't sentient. They are.
He also just makes up some shit in this next comment. Somebody brings up the concept of sapient. He says, I never said sapience equals morality. The thing that proves demons have morality is them literally telling us they have it. And to other characters saying, quote, demon think hiding mana is morally wrong, unquote. And the demon saying, you're hiding mana, which I think is morally wrong, unquote. It's right there in the text. No, it's not. That's not what the demon says. Like, I love how you're adding all these extra words to it to make it you sound more right. Like, the demon said he thought it was morally wrong. No, the demon, in context, basically said, fuck, that's cheating. He didn't say it was morally wrong. He's upset that he lost and died.
Not only is he upset, it's literally to show off the hypocrisy. It's like, you're cheating. It's like, yeah, you kill people, so what? I will cheat all I want if it means I get rid of you. I just googled sentience. It's like the capacity to feel, perceive, and have subjective experiences. So yeah, that applies to animals.
Animals for sure feel things. Like, it's like when what was it? If you go to adopt like a cat or something, sometimes the sign will say that two cats are a bonded pair and they have to be adopted with each other. And sometimes if like a cat grew up with another cat from birth to when that older cat died, that one can become severely depressed. So no, animals feel emotion. Like,
that guy wasn't
my dog
called enough
was
slurs.
my dog was absolutely depressed when one of my older animals died. And it's like we got a puppy to kind of like, you know, fill that empty void.
Yeah. Not only that, like, what is it? I had a dog. Well, no, I had a dog. I have an older dog we've had when we were like since like over like nearly a decade ago. The first time I found out that dogs actually have emotions is when my mom literally came back from a walk. She told him to come here and he rolled his eyes at her and walked away. Like,
that's
animals.
Funny.
I like was super shocked. I'm like, they actually know how to do stuff like that? Because animals know what to do. It's just that they're not They just don't have the full capabilities of a human. That's it. But apparently his definition of empathy is human looking.
Also, Toa brings up, this is ignoring blue and orange morality. There's a difference between saying that they have no morals versus they have incompatible morals. Which I admittedly didn't know this was a trope, but I guess it makes sense that it is a trope. It just says, the strangest of these characters are those who espouse blue and orange morality. These characters have a moral framework so utterly alien and foreign to human experience that we can't necessarily peg them as good or evil. They aren't a chaotic neutral unfettered, though they seem to act terrifyingly random, nor are they a lawful neutral fettered, because their understanding of the law as a concept is not even equivalent to ours. There might be logic behind their actions, it's just that they operate with an entirely different set of values and premises from which to draw their conclusions that we can't understand it.
Yeah, sounds about right. Where is it? I have like you don't, it's like, again, the people that do, it's like my whole thing with like critique culture is people will critique something and then just not understand what they're critiquing because they don't bother actually understanding what they are critiquing. It's like this one time I watched someone do a critique on Perfect Blue and like breaking down the story, and all they kept doing was focusing on, oh well, Mima is so sad and Mima is traumatized, and it's like, okay, yes, that is a valid critique, but that's been like a sticking point with Perfect Blue for over like 20 years. Can you like analyze something different about it? But no, we just want to critique again because now we know about this thing called idol culture. So we finally have a word for it. So now we can say the same thing people were saying 20 years ago, but we learned a new word in English.
Now, before I send us off for the night and find somebody to raid, I want to ruin everybody's night really quick. So, I'm screen sharing with both of you.
Why?
Oh, I posted this in my Discord already.
What is this? I don't even play games like this. What are you doing?
I just wanted to ruin everybody's day really quick while I saw it.
Why is he doing that?
What do you mean? He's just putting his cards in his binder. I don't see the problem. You can't even spell your name right, I'm so upset. I'm more bothered it's not even in a specific pattern. Yeah? He just keeps he keeps hole punching them in different spots.
So bad.
Oh my gosh.
Sorry, chat. I had to...
Actually, hold on. No, I have one more. That's related.
What?
I have one more that's related to the one that you sent.
Okay.
Showed. There you go.
Alright, chat. Well, Lumi wants us all to be tortured, like, slightly more. So.
Yes.
Lumi's like, you know what, you ruined my day, I'm gonna ruin your day.
Sleeve with your card. This will ensure that the card does not fall out of the sleeve. I recommend using wood glue because cards are made out of trees.
I have the point.
I recommend wood glue because it's made for trees.
I recommend recommend using wood glue because cards are made out of trees.
Well, it's true.
Oh, that's painful in so many ways.
Oh my gosh. It's so terrible.
It is. I gotta send them to my friend Win, who is a active Magic the Gathering collector.
Why is it always magic cards?
I don't know.
This is so plentiful. I bet you this is from their third pack.
True.
Please, your analytics are showing. Oh wait, never mind.
Not for chat, no.
I forgot for 5 seconds.
I still can't get over how cute the rarity is. Oh,
Yeah.
adorable.
That's not rarity, that's charity.
Search
But I
by
really do like your
VTubers,
models.
search
These
by
are
live.
pretty cute.
Tumbly did such a good job with these. It's like, hold on, I gotta show you the.
You're almost convincing me.
It's like, I don't know if I showed you my original pony model that I got from Tumbly when she was doing her 1.0 pony models.
I
Hold on, let me change into it real quick. But this is my sea pony model, the original one that I have. Once it loads up.
Loaded.
Ooh.
Yay.
That's so cute. You got broken legs.
Super big.
Your legs are looking a little wild there.
Yeah, it's like that was part of the, she fixed with the 2.0 and stuff.
Yeah. But it looks really nice. I don't know. Maybe you guys are convincing me. Maybe next time.
Maybe next time.
I gotta wear out the chibi and 3D model first before I move on to another new model.
Fair.
I mean, fair.
I'm going down the list of people real quick and see if anybody's interesting. I may send you guys to this Little Nightmares one if they are allowing people.
Oh, Little Nightmares 3. Oh, they have
you can't.
tortured me.
No redirect privileges.
Dang. I know good and well they're trying to do the same thing that they're doing with Freerin for like not Freerin with the morality thing, but definitely the same type of like arguments being like Little Nightmares 3 isn't that bad, guys, and literally everybody's like it is. Like objectively it is the worst game. And they all try and like go into the Little Nightmare spaces and it's like, brother, I don't know why you're trying to argue when everyone collectively was like, yeah, no, we're just disappointed in the game. It's not negativity, it's valid criticism, because for some reason to these people,
Is it
valid
not
criticism. It's not terrible. But it's objectively
disappointing
worse.
to what everyone thought it was going to be like.
Yeah. Pretty much if you liked 1 and 2 and the mobile game, it was a disappointment.
You know what, chat? They speak Italian and English, and they are apparently on episode 1673 of possibly playing RuneScape. So, yeah, we can send you there. Awesome. You guys be good for them. Remember to tell them Miza sent you. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe to this stream. We will be back for more anime audits next Sunday. This is going to be a new Sunday show every time, and Lumi and Kendra are always invited. Whenever they have time.
Yes.
And I believe the next, maybe not this Under the Tea, but the next Under the Tea will be the game awards. I'll have to see. It's one of the days. But you guys be good.
No.
Have a great one.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Maybe next time we'll get to watch, what's his name? Jeff Keighley make an ass of himself on stage again.
Simping Kojima?